I'll just do it now instead. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Huzzah.
And Nerd Bubble Podcast, episode 49.
49.
Jesus Christ.
One more to the big 5-0.
I mean, like 3 more to the big 52. And
Screwed 52. 5-0.
yeah, new 52. MCU. No?
Detective Comics.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Best comics ever. Joined this week by none other.
Matthew Jr.
I honestly thought you were just going to go Matthew Shepard and just hope no one noticed. We've actually, yeah, we've recast Matt.
Yes.
I'm the new Matt now.
Yeah.
I'm the better Matt. That's the question.
Tom, welcome.
Hello.
You tell us a bit about yourself for those who don't
Well,
know.
Because I don't.
well, there you go. Well, it's apparently you don't know if you've seen all my videos, have you? Yeah, it's Connor.
I've been watching through your videos, Connor hasn't.
Have you, Connor?
No.
Well, there you go.
No pressure.
Well, but yeah, I run DarkNuke Studios.
Mhm.
I've been doing that.
Hashtag subscribe.
Yes, indeed. Subscribe to get me to 100, maybe 200, because I've got 171 now.
Right,
So,
off.
woohoo! Yeah, but I've been DarkNuke sort of mix of doing comedy skits, short films, but sort of and the Nuke cast, even though I've only done one in January, and that was the last time that happened. But we were meant to do it more, but life and both me and Keys working as well, it's just sort of going the way.
Bloody Keys!
Yes, we will get Keys on here as well. Hopefully, we'll get Keys.
He's out the window right now. Look.
He'll be like, Keys. He's just waving. And he's like,
Just like
he's like, let me in,
just
please.
in Friends when Joey's looking through that like water feature, just like I'm by myself.
Well, I can make his hello darkness, my old friend.
He's
but,
he's Ben Affleck in all of Batman-related interviews.
Oh god. But no, I've been doing DarkNuke for about almost 7 years now.
Fuck that.
Yes, very long. It's
Ooh.
like there was it's ooh,
madam.
like you guys, because how long you guys been doing Pasty Kick for now?
Pass. Well, it'll be a year in 3 weeks.
Ah, nice. Well, much longer than I have. You've been doing
Much
much
longer.
less than I have.
Much longer.
Feels like longer. Strike me down.
Well,
become
I can
more
safely
powerful.
say you've uploaded more videos on your channel than I have in DarkNuke's entire lifetime.
Define what you mean video, because this is just all audio form.
True, very true.
But you made us sick logos.
True, I am the man. Surprisingly, I don't know if you knew about it. I designed all of that on Premiere Pro.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, no
Shout
Photoshop.
out to Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yes.
If they're watching.
Sponsor us, please.
Sponsor Pasty Keep. Do
Oh.
it. But no, it's been DarkNuke's been very weird over the last few years. Like it started up really going a lot. Like I did this series called Dumbass, which is basically I tried to make it a British version of Jackass.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only
for
done
that.
about up to 6 episodes, and then that was the last time because basically everyone had jobs, and I was alone for a while, and then
Oh, by yourself.
myself. I don't want
wanna
to be
be-
myself. But no, I had my best mate Tiff with me through a lot of it.
Mhm.
But she was gone to college, so she didn't have enough time either. So I was just stuck in a rut, kind of think, what am I going to do, what video wise? And like most of the start of it was comedy skits, and then it just sort of like went off that, and then just for the last years it's been one video now and again. But if you well, I can't even speak there, don't I?
It's too emotional.
Yes. But with
It's all coming back to him.
but obviously through the DarkNuke social media, people do follow it. If you do, follow us at DarkNuke Studios on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, he's getting all his plugs in quick.
Well
I
done.
can't take the
Well
opportunity while I'm at it.
Under pressure.
Yes. But there was obviously DarkNuke sort of expanded beyond just DarkNuke Studios. We've got TSX, which is sort of more vlogs.
Wakanda forever. No. Oh.
What?
MCU.
He's making the X of you.
No X-Men pun intended.
That's coming later.
Well, there you go. Well, hey.
Segway.
But with that, but obviously got also Nightfall Productions, which is sort of a collaborative sort of channel where myself and other people, and we've got one in the works at the moment for a project, which is sort of DC fan film based on the Joker and Harley Quinn.
I saw the trailer for that.
Okay, yeah. I liked it. I liked it.
Did you? You just saying that because Tom's here?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, it's fine.
Third time you try to, put the spotlight on me, no.
Connor, I only put pressure on you because you're
Because-
all like
because I'm the man of the group.
you're-
Clearly, I'm the man
The
of the
man of
group.
the
you're all I have left.
Right.
Matt's left me.
Hey, you got me on there on the side as well.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Side chick.
that. There you go.
So you got Nightfall. You got
Morning Light is another one. That's my friend Ollie Newton's channel.
Shout Out.
So yes, shout out to Morning Light. Shout out to the whole DarkNuke family, as they say. This is my first time mentioning that, so there we go. So,
There you go.
but and then we also have
Synergy.
and then we also have Para Explore, which is sort of like exploring abandoned places, sort of like some of the scariest places in the UK.
Ooh.
That's that channel was mainly run by
Bloody hell.
Mickey and Natalie.
Mickey Mouse.
No,
Mickey, Natalie Mouse.
Nitty
Oh, kids.
Oh God. I'm going to Disney actually in a couple of weeks. Actually, saying that.
They'll probably
Florida.
they'll probably buy you out. You know, they buy everything.
Fuck Disney.
Get that.
That's what I'm saying now. Fuck Disney. No, the thing, like for me, with DarkNuke.
Disney forever.
The thing is, like, this podcast is always going crazy. We've not even got to the X-Men part yet.
Exactly.
But
This is the pre-show, folks.
yes. But the thing is, my view on that, like, if say for example, DarkNuke got really quite big,
Yeah.
and loads of companies like Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers tried to buy it, I'd say no, because I'd want to challenge you. Like that's literally the aim of it. Like with
Bring it on.
DarkNuke.
Bring it on.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
because like the main problem with monopolies and mergers is it sort of dilutes competition, and then there is
Competition
because competition
is the key to
invites
success.
it challenges you to do better.
It
And
does.
if
Yeah.
there's one studio with 60% of the market,
Yeah.
then
that's
they're
it.
not really going to be challenged.
Nope.
Yeah, I think because I mean Disney were already like doing well on their own without buying Fox. Like the amount of billion-dollar films they've been having the last couple of years is quite. I mean, obviously, Infinity War and Endgame both 2.2 billion. Like already, like both of them, just those alone, it's like it's unfair for the other studios, but it's
Getting political on your asses.
yes. But my view, but yeah, with DarkNuke, we're gonna be staying independent and until forever.
Until
And-
we buy you out.
Oh, I see how it is.
Become Pasty Nukes.
Pasty Duke.
Pasty Nuke.
Now that would be a hell of a name. That would Pasty Duke.
That is.
God, I'm kind of create a logo with that. It's like a mix of the Pasty Sheep and DarkNuke.
Be the sheep riding
The smiley.
riding a nuke with a smiley face.
Just get an exploding sheep. Exploding sheep with a
Oh yeah,
smiley
exploding.
Oh my God, yes.
Exploding sheep face.
face. Yeah, exploding sheep face.
But yeah,
Merch.
Mertz.
Coming to you soon.
We say that all the time. But
Oh,
it
I
never
wish,
is.
I wish I had Mertz.
Well, we
Obvious.
take loads of video ideas, Jules, and they've not happened yet. So
Well, when one of us is never fucking here, what do you want from me?
everything.
Everything.
Matt,
Everything.
put your game up. Come on, man.
I
These
mean,
two need you.
I mean, we do have like 2 live action videos that
Well, they were underway, but then they got lost in the mail.
they got lost in time.
Oh dear.
I don't know. I've seen like maybe with his new job he'll get his life together and edit the stuff.
Hopefully. I mean, he's got a girlfriend as well, so I don't know if that's.
Ah,
Ah,
bloody
Bloody
girlfriends.
women. Bloody
Women, eh?
Bloody
Women, eh? Really,
Hmm. But yeah, DarkNuke
Yeah,
for the
anyway.
win. Woo! There you go.
What's your next big thing that you want to do?
Oh God.
What's your ambition?
Oh,
So this has become an interview.
it is coming to be. Isn't it? This is probably gonna be one of your longest podcast now at this rate. But
Well, good luck, because that's 2 hours and 23
ah,
minutes.
screw it. Why not? Go for it.
3 hours.
But
This will be 4 days long.
God, it's. I mean, honestly, there's quite a few projects. It's quite a few projects in the works at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just more in the. They've got a couple in these that have been completed with the script.
Mm-hmm.
We hopefully want to, because we had the whole thing with the Dark Universe where we basically sort of scrapped it because many things, and but the thing is, a lot of people still want us to do it. Like not in terms, I think not the universe, but sort of like live action takes on like fairy tale characters.
Yeah.
I think we still want to do Red Riding Hood. We just want to make a good story for it. And once we've got a good story and then we've got the right cast, then we'll go for it. But until then, it's just gonna be just in the.
If you
Back
need
rows
someone,
in the
if you need
pipeline.
someone to play the wolf,
Oh,
Hey!
hey! Yourself. All right,
look at
okay,
this
sure.
7-foot giant.
Well, there you go.
A werewolf.
Connor,
right.
you are
I've been
horrendously tall.
called many things, but never a
I
werewolf.
think your
Well, there you go. That's the
portrayal
first for you.
of
There you go.
werewolf would be like the Hamlet of your generation. I feel like you could really sort of hone that in.
It'll be his Oscar-winning performance.
You can Daniel
I
Day-Lewis
just
it. You'll have to
learn-
live with
I have to
wolves.
learn my old English. I have to learn my Shakespeare folk.
Oh,
Have
that
to-
would be something I would pay to see.
Well, there you
But I
go.
don't have to.
Front row.
I'll be the only one in there, just like, yeah.
Yes, sold.
And plus, then you'd have to wear like a dress, and that'd be funny. And
Bra.
then I could laugh.
A wig,
A wig. Ooh.
lipstick,
Oh, Jesus.
high heels.
It's a
He was
dirty
wearing all that before you.
There you
Came.
go.
It's a dirty
He was
fan.
wearing all that before you came in.
Wait, go off very quick then.
No.
The quick change. He was like,
Like
I
snap.
can't let him see me like this. He must think I'm normal.
Oh.
No, just
No, just no.
No.
Can confirm Connor's
Okay.
not a cross-dresser. He says, but he actually is. Just
He hasn't told us anything.
now he's touching me.
Tucky.
He likes it.
Ooh,
Ooh.
oh, madam. Anyway,
God, this podcast is going so many different
Is
levels.
this pre-show going to be uploaded separately?
no, this is
To get to
just
the main event.
yeah, we'll do it in the main event. This is the undercard, but should we stop waffling because that's like a 10-minute
Yes.
intro.
I say subscribe to DarkNuke Studios.
Yes.
That'll do.
Everything.
If at random intervals in the podcast you just like shout that out, then like, it's like subliminal messaging.
Oh, no.
Hashtag DarkNuke.
Connor, E3,
Hello. Yes, E3. Yeah.
sock it to me.
Gaming convention that it's going on at the moment. Most popular thing going on in the world. Probably at the
Is it
moment.
really?
Well,
Is
it's up
it?
there. Number one gaming convention, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, 100% for that.
What news has come out?
Well, all I know is that what
E3.
I'm getting next Christmas. I know
Oh.
what the main gift next Christmas.
Only if you're a good boy.
Well, of course, and girls.
Well, you're a good girl as well. Does it depend what day it is?
Be whatever you want to be, George.
Oh, it's coming on to me.
You're a free human.
Exactly. No judgment.
Are you a gender fluid?
I just realised I just touched my nose with your mic. I don't know why. Wait. Touch the microphone with my nose. Why am I saying that
Touch
for?
your nose with my mic.
It's like, yeah.
Touch my mic as well.
For those of you that can't see, this is deeply sexual.
Yes.
Secretly, we're all naked right now.
ASMR.
It's the best way to do a podcast because they
There
don't
you
even
go.
know that I'm not wearing pants. Anyway, Connor, what's going on? in the
mate,
world of
Why
games.
do I have to talk about E3?
Because
have,
I like-
Have you not seen it? Have you not watched
I've seen
E3?
bits of E3, but I've been at work most of the time.
Exactly, Connor, you are the main game guy.
Oh yeah, the only one from the sounds of it.
I have you know that I just perfected Lego Batman on Xbox 360. So
Okay, all right. Well.
shut
You're
it.
an Xbox guy, are you?
Always an Xbox.
On
guy.
PlayStation on that one.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, whatever.
See, diversity.
Hey! But I'll be honest. I've been PlayStation all my life. But the thing is, I've never even. I think the only reason I'm getting Xbox is for Halo.
And then what happened? You
Never
were getting it for Halo, but then
Well, work.
it didn't work.
Work.
I literally.
Life.
I haven't played my PS4 for probably about over a year.
Jesus.
Now.
Jesus.
That's how much I work.
Jesus. I mean, I was like PlayStation like all my life, and then I got PS4 and I didn't really play it. And then like loads of people just had Xbox, so I just bought an Xbox One with like my first paycheck.
Who didn't have a
Yeah.
PS2 growing up? Who didn't have a PS2?
Oh, everyone had a PS2.
I had the PS1.
Oh, damn.
I really want
I've
to.
been going all PlayStation life.
I got a PS2 in the garage. I really want to rebuy my PS1. Sold my PS3 because I didn't use it, and plus it was just dying, so I just got some money for it. But I had fucking loads of games, like Infamous, love that.
Oh, yeah.
Prototype,
Yes.
Amaze. That was that sort of like grungy generation of just like, this is a
Badass
game about
action
an
game.
arsehole that's got superpowers.
Hooded protagonist as well.
Yeah.
Hooded.
The super jump where you just like charge it and then and then you could glide across the map on Prototype. That was like the best thing ever.
They were the good old days of games.
And then the trophies.
Now look at him.
Heavy Rain. I mean,
oh.
all right, come on, put your pants back on.
Rain. No, so many good memories of that.
It's Oregon
Heavy Rain's-
Jason.
Heavy Rain's happening right now.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
It's happening right
Are you the origami killer?
now.
That was actually such a good storyline. And then it was like
No.
just
Or am I?
to get all the endings is like, no.
It might be happening right now, but no.
Or when you have to cut like
Yeah, no.
the dad's finger off with like different tools.
Yeah, that achievement where you have to do it, but the
Do it with
right way.
pliers. Do it with
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah, and then you have to get the
The hot plate and then just like burn it. Yeah.
good old.
Murder. Very good.
A lot of murder.
Very good for the soul. Anyway, Connor, you're beating around the bush.
Yeah,
What
no-
what games
oh,
are coming
right,
out?
yes, it's me. Well, John Wick is now part of a game.
He is.
But not as John Wick, is Keanu Reeves.
The
Cyberpunk.
man who doesn't age.
Cyberpunk 2077, which has been in limbo for like the last, at least I want to say 4 years.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while.
Yeah,
I know. I remember when they first announced they were doing it, and then it was like nothing for a few years. I was
It's
thinking,
just a name at that point.
Yeah.
It's just a name. But now, we've seen it.
yes.
We've seen it, and Keanu Reeves showed us it, and I'm now really pumped for it.
What is the story behind Cyberpunk 2077?
Going off of Terminator vibes, it looks like he's sort of a half machine, half human thing.
Mm-hmm. Is
a
Keanu the main
futuristic
character?
world. No. He's in it, and he's like the narrator of it. But you play as some like skinhead buzzcut, like baldy bloke, who's a Cyberman basically. He's like half
and half.
I think Keanu Reeves is a bit Cyberman.
Does he talk like that and go sort of like it's,
No, it's 2077.
love, pride, hate, fear?
No.
Have you no emotions, sir?
Just no.
No Billy Ho Hum?
No.
Okay, alright, sorry. Carry on.
No. He's a robot, George. He
Yeah.
don't have emotions.
He's a machine! He's a machine!
He's a
Rise from the
Terminator.
Kings.
He's a Terminator.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Except
now
probably-
know.
Except probably better acting and better story as well, probably.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, which Terminator?
I'll have you know, Terminator Genesis is the crown jewel of this
No.
generation of cinema.
I hope that is. I hope that is pure sarcasm on that one.
Of course it is.
I've
Good.
Hate it.
I thank
I've
God for
just
that.
finished Salvation on the way here, and no.
You watched it in the car. That's pretty brave.
Incredible.
DVD players are still in fashion, folks.
But hey, but no,
Portable DVD
Terminator Genesis. God, I hated it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you?
Because the only
That'll soon dissipate.
No,
No.
you're gonna be heavily disappointed if you were.
Well, I was disappointed with Terminator 3. I mean,
I think that's not as bad as it.
I think it's
I couldn't finish it.
Better
I
than
mean-
people,
I mean,
better than people give it credit for because it's stupid.
yeah. I think the first, obviously
When it's
the
in the
first,
coffin.
obviously the first Terminator in the. Don't know how, that was a crazy moment.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, he's carrying
Yeah.
a coffin with a machine gun. There you go. But like the first two Terminator films, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Smashed out.
third one was alright, and then Salvation. I like the concept they were going with.
Yeah.
It just
isn't Terminator.
It just
no,
had.
it just wasn't Terminator at all. It was
No.
just more of a post-apocalyptic
War film.
film
Yeah.
involving
Machines.
robots.
Which made sense, like when you're trying to mix that up because you've gone to the past so many times, and the one thing you haven't seen is that world.
Yeah, exactly. They're sort of teasing, going, in the future, John Connor is the leader of the resistance. He's all that we got. And it's
But then all we got is shouty Christian Bale.
Yes.
Yeah. But even he's not in the movie.
Fuck's sake, man! Get it in my shot.
Even he's not in the movie.
Best thing to
because
come out of
he
Terminator
sits in the
Salvation.
base half the time. He goes, I'm listening to
Looking
recordings
grumpy.
of my mum. Like whatever he says, and he's like, we gotta find Kyle Reese. He's my daddy. I have to find him.
And then he finds him, and then he's too young. It's like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to wait. Maybe there's a sequel, and then it just didn't happen.
I think they originally intended for a trilogy, like they
Yeah.
always do at the moment, and then it just doesn't work.
I think it was meant to end with then him going back in time. and
Yeah, or
then
something like
to
that,
set
yeah.
off the events of Terminator 1.
That would have been ideal. But
Good old days. The good old days.
no, Christian Bale, you.
Dark
yeah.
Fate looks, shit. It looks like all of the bad Terminators in one.
I have to rewatch the trailer for that. I can't remember.
It's got a woman who's
woman.
wearing a vest, just like Linda Hamilton, who also wears a vest. And then she's the Terminator, like Salvation. But then it's the liquid one that they all have to do now.
But it's sort of split into two, that one, isn't it? A little bit, that, and that's Dark Fate, I think.
I just don't have time
Oh,
for
sure.
Terminator. I don't have time for Terminator or James Cameron anymore, which is why I want Avengers Endgame to make that last $40 million to
It's
fucking
It
overtake.
is so close.
Come on, guys.
2.7.
How many more
So
snaps do I have to
close.
keep making? How many more snaps?
Literally 40 million out. It's really fucking
It's.
annoying.
My biggest worry, I don't think it's going to do it. That's the
I don't
thing.
think it is. I think it just sort of peaked too early.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, done well. Done well for it, and it's done quite the guy near Alpha Avatar done, which you got to give it credit for that. But it's so close, but yet so far.
Mm.
And forever far.
I mean, the fact that it beat Infinity War in 11 days, it was like, oh, it's gonna do. Oh.
It's promising.
It's literally like tailing off, but it's like,
I mean, it beat
just-
Titanic. At least that's one main thing.
yeah.
thank God
It
for
beat
that.
one of them. One of James Cameron's films, at least.
Jesus.
So it's 2.787 and 2.732.
If James Cameron's films are in the top 5, are they all top 5 films by James Cameron?
No, so it's Avatar, Endgame, Titanic, Force Awakens, Infinity War is the top 5. And that's all over 2 billion. And then you got Jurassic World, Avengers, Furious 7, Age of Ultron, Black Panther, and that's the top 10.
But
So there's a fair few Marvel movies in that one. In
Oh,
that top 10 at
definitely.
least.
I mean, you have to go, and then after that, it's I think a bit of a gap after Black Panther, and then Iron Man 3 is 18th. So then you got like Harry Potter, Last Jedi, Fallen Kingdom, Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Incredibles 2, which is quite high for a fucking Pixar.
Yeah, that done really well.
And
That
Fate of
is.
the Furious.
More
And
than
they
I
got
expected, I think.
fucking Minions.
Oh my god, really?
They're making the second one of that, Minions 2, The Rise of Gru.
Oh god.
The fact that Minions is above Captain America Civil War.
Really?
I'm done, folks.
Yeah.
What?
Civil War is 20th with 1.5. Minions is 19th with 1.159.
How the hell did Minions beat Civil War?
No,
I don't know.
Out of all the films.
The best.
But at
MCU
least it
that's
beat
not been-
Aquaman and Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Oh yeah.
Oh god,
Same.
don't start me on the
Yeah,
Transformers films, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's a franchise I can't be bothered to get into.
No, I have no intention to talk about that.
Oh
either.
man, I gave up on that. When
My brother and my family love it, and I'm just going, what's wrong with you? Seriously.
It's
Like-
very enjoyable.
I saw the first one.
It's just so many. It's
after Dark
just,
of the Moon.
I saw the first one. I can't remember it.
Dark of
I
the
love the first
That's
one.
it.
Dark of the Moon should have been it. That was it.
Mm.
And then they decided to go with Age of Extinction, or as I like to call Age of Bullshit.
Oh, it is.
It was so stupid. And then you had Last Night, which was like, what the hell? Like
Yeah, when it's
the
like
bloody framing kept like going in and out. It's like,
King
can
Arthur
you just
was a
not add
robot.
like a some bars over it just to make it look more smoother and more professional instead of just like like that.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Transformers is like they came to Earth in the first one, but then it's like, they've been there since medieval times and they knew King Arthur. And
As you do. Yeah. Okay.
there's only like
Sounds like total
one
reboot.
James Bond film in it, and that's Skyfall.
Should we go back to E3 because we've gone on a hell of a tangent, haven't we?
Yeah, we do that
Kinda.
here. The lowest like film with over a billion is The Dark Knight. That's insane.
Wow,
That's at 39.
that's crazy to think that.
That is insane. That's one of the best superhero movies ever
Oh,
made,
100%.
and one of the best sequels of all time.
Oh, 100%.
if not ever.
Loved it. Loved Dark Knight. So good that was.
We also love Keanu Reeves, and that's how we get back to Cyberpunk
Yeah.
2077. Keanu Reeves just doesn't age. I love him.
No.
He's like in his 50s, but he just like Bill and Ted, man. I can't wait for that.
He's
Bill and
my-
Ted Face
he's
the
my
Music.
Wolverine. He's my Wolverine.
I would have. I would.
I know height's different. If you want to be like anal about, because he's different from the character.
Yeah,
So
but Hugh,
obviously
Hugh Jackman was different from the character. Hugh Jackman was 6'2", and Wolverine's
What's wrong with
5
Keanu Reeves?
foot.
Yeah, something like
Keanu Reeves
4.
being Wolverine.
I'd be
He
down
just
for
seems
that.
too nice. He's too much of a
Nice.
nice man.
But then you see me
Have
John
you
Wick.
seen John Wick?
Yeah, I've seen John Wick.
You seen all three of them?
Yeah, I've seen him for. I
How
saw
many
him.
people
I
has he
saw him
killed?
before you.
How many people has he killed? And you're saying he's a nice guy?
Yeah, but like
Yeah, but
Hugh
what? He don't-
Jackman, he like carries it off. And yes, he's Canadian and makes Keanu Reeves like better fit for it. It's just like, it just doesn't seem like like a mutant that's lived. Well, he could actually be a mutant that's lived forever because he doesn't actually age.
True.
Well, yeah.
Grow
So
out the
what-
mutton chops and shave his hair, and then come back to me.
Well, apparently there was talk about Keanu Reeves being in the Eternals or something recently.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah,
I read some of that.
One of
Oh.
the team members. I don't know which one. but
Nah.
he's
He would just be
one.
playing himself. I'm just Keanu
Well,
Reeves.
I
and
heard
just-
apparently it was supposed to be a villain. I heard one report. Keanu Reeves is a villain.
I would be up for Keanu Reeves villaining in the MCU.
But then, because I don't know the Eternals, who would the villain be?
I don't know either.
Uh,
I don't really know the
The enemy would be Bob Iger and Disney. They're coming to buy us, and then it's just them fighting them off, and then they just get bought out anyway.
Eternal.
Yeah,
That's their motto.
There you go.
that sounded like He-Man.
I think Thanos is actually in the comics is an Eternal.
Yeah, because there's the concept
It's
art
his
of him
species,
young.
isn't he?
Yeah, I saw that. I'd be interested if they actually did, if they could a bit of like
But would
Yep.
you still have Brolin and just CGI him younger,
maybe.
Yeah.
or would you play someone
I
else?
think. Oh, that's the interesting one. Maybe Brolin. I think maybe you could keep Josh Brolin for it.
If he's young, if it depends how young he is. If he's like a little kiddie, then get like a kid accent.
No, get just Brolin.
Kid
Fuck it.
voice. Or we go Brolin and go, hey, get him to do a kid accent. Yeah.
No, that would be entertaining to see that.
No, just CGI him
Just
as a
like
kid. And then
Thanos in a preschool, just like.
Oh my god.
But fun's not something one considers when having their midnight snack and their nap time, but this does bring a smile to my face. Which that scene in that trailer was not in Infinity War.
No, it wasn't.
no.
Had such a guy. I can't even speak. Jesus Christ.
It's too nervous. It's the internet. It's what
There
it
you go.
does to you.
Yes.
Oh. What other games? Anyway,
What other
it's
games?
like 25 minutes in.
There's so many more with the new Xbox. Project Scarlet next Christmas.
Captain Scarlet next Christmas. Yes.
Yes, Project Scarlet.
I'll buy it. I mean, I've got the
Yeah.
One X and the One, and
They've already
fuck
said
it.
that every Xbox One accessory will work on it, so we don't need to.
Will it
buy-
actually? Yeah, but are they including the long forgotten Connect? That you know.
They did not mention anything about the Kinect.
No, the Connect's like the.
I think Kinect's gone now. Rest in peace.
I just like it because you could just say it and then the Xbox comes on. That's just for pure laziness. That's the only reason I like it.
Fair enough.
And also it links up, so like it's like you say it and then it turns on and it turns the TV on and you're like, I don't even need my hands anymore. It's
Useless.
There you go.
I just need my voice, Anakin.
I'm just trying to think of something.
Speaking of Star Wars, there's a new
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars. See that segue? That was by accident, but I did that and it was really good.
That one, they're doing the all 9 films, aren't they?
Yeah.
That one.
Again.
Again.
For the 4th time.
As the
The
resident
Skywalker saga, as they say.
as the
Oh,
resident
Jesus.
person who does, it's his life aimed to perfect every Lego game. I've had enough of Lego Star Wars.
Don't blame me.
That's the one they really overuse
That's
when doing it
milked to
every
death.
single every year, I don't know.
It's
But
their- it's
if you
their-
want to print, if you want a surefire way to print money,
it's their
you do that.
It's their OG IP.
yeah, because it was the
Don't
first.
milk-
Yeah, it was
but,
their
like,
first thing.
Don't milk it to death, guys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
complete saga. Yeah, fair enough.
No more.
Then
After that,
then
just leave
Clone
it.
Wars, and then you've
Yeah, Clone
got
Wars
Force
was-
Awakens,
Yeah.
and now it's the Sky. I still haven't done Force Awakens, and
After
I can't
this,
be honest.
After this Skywalker, though, guys, Traveller's Tales, no more Star Wars. Okay?
Well, that.
No
But
more.
What about
more.
If, what about
I
if
agree
they
with that.
no more? What about
No
if they did
more.
like Rogue One?
No, just do Lego Star Wars: The Old Republic. If you're
Oh
going to do
my
anything
God,
of that.
that would be such a
Just do
sick
old
game.
Republic.
Well, you saying about Old Republic? I think they're possibly making that as the new trilogy.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah, that's
Republic,
rumored
isn't
for the Game of Thrones guys.
Yes.
As much as they suck
Please.
at writing,
it? Yes.
Please.
because that
Please,
last
mate,
season was shit.
Don't do what you did with Game of Thrones. Just do it. Just
We
do
need
it.
a Bastila, we need a Darth Kreia, we need Malik, we need Revan.
Yes.
We need all the characters.
Yes.
I don't know what. I
100%.
don't know why we're surprised at how bad the writing was after the books, because DB Wise, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the writers on X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Really?
Great
Yeah.
film.
Oh
Don't know what you're
God.
talking about. Great film. Great film.
That links into later.
Great film. Great film.
What else came out of E3? Like,
Everything.
There was the Avengers game.
Oh
From
my
Square Enix.
Oh,
That looks so shit.
That
No.
looks so
the
bad.
D-Vengers, mate. The D-Vengers.
I like Nolan North. I like Troy Baker.
Oh, who don't?
They are
Laura
not-
Bailey.
They are not invested in this game.
No.
Did you
Bruce,
see the little-
like we're talking about this, Bruce. It's like,
Did you see
oh,
the little
fuck's
conference
sake.
where they're like, this is our original take on the characters. He had all the actors like lined up and they're like,
Yeah.
in this game you play as like every single team member. They get, where's Hawkeye? Sorry, where's Hawkeye?
That's true. Where are we
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye?
Yeah, the thing is they've purposely chosen like the most now sort of iconic lineup because of the MCU in the films,
Screw you, Hawkeye.
and they leave out
Yep.
Hawkeye. Like you would just put him in. Even
I
if
also say this as
even
well.
he's
The
not
designs of the characters, like
Oh,
more.
ugly.
I'm saying specifically Iron Man, Captain America.
Mm.
Like it's like Captain America just wearing like riot gear. That's all it's like he's wearing.
He literally, bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Like I get that you want him to like look different.
I
but-
know with the Iron Man look, it looks like it's more to like when the comics when they started, like more original design. But I mean, the newer designs like with the MCU, you could have gone near to that.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing they literally copied from the MCU was that purple shirt of Bruce Banner, and that's it.
Mm.
I think that's the
Yeah.
only thing they did. with
Hulk
that.
looks nice.
Hulk looks
Hulk
alright.
does look good.
He looks the best out of all of them, I think. He looks the most
Best of a
normal.
bad bunch, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
I
Well,
get
yeah.
it because you don't want them to necessarily look the same because that's what you get with like Spider-Man the game. But then you have all the other suits.
I think
Yeah.
that's the
I think
problem
do it
with
like
them.
that,
They
you
look
should-
similar.
Yeah.
They look similar, but they're trying to be different.
Yeah,
Their
like
message
you
is
said,
different.
like you said, commit like one way or the other. Either make them MCU or have them as far from that as
Because
you
I
can.
feel
Yeah.
like if they literally just shoved the actor's face, then like none of the issues would be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like that is the thing. I think with that.
Like,
It's a weird one. I think because like I think I can get where Square Enix and that are trying to go to make it an original story, but to how they try and make it different to the MCU. But I think because of such the popularity of the MCU, especially with the Avengers, from fans, it's gonna get a negative reaction.
One way or the
section
other,
from
you're
it.
gonna have people that are pissed off.
Oh, I see. The amount of tweets I saw was
bad.
really bad,
Catastrophic.
really bad. I saw the trailer and I was thinking, oh god, I thought that would look better than that. Jesus, especially with like.
Yeah, it just sort of looks a bit like
It
there's not
does.
enough.
Oomph to
Infinite,
it.
yeah.
No.
But then again, don't forget, usually first trailers, they're usually graphically, they're not that good sometimes, and then
They're
sometimes.
always in development when
Yeah.
they show it off. That's
And when you actually see the final game, it could look better. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
I
You
think
don't
the
know
thing
what's
that
gonna
make it or
happen.
break it is what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah.
Because
And
I think
they didn't show it off.
as much
No.
as it can look like shit, if it plays well,
Then
people are still going to get
put
it.
it aside.
I think the interesting is you've got the co-op part of it, because it's not just single player, it's also co-op, four-player co-op as well.
Yeah,
so
they said it'll be like they said they have that sort of like Destiny feel to it, didn't
They've
they?
said they've got years planned, and it's all free DLC, and they're going to add more people.
yes,
to it.
I heard
Like,
that.
No loot boxes. They literally.
I think there was-
said
I
no
think-
loot boxes.
You saying that because I think obviously we're going to make it years to come. I think from when I first heard about and looked into it a few years ago when they announced it, that they were also developing a Guardians of the Galaxy one as well.
Oh,
But because I think
I didn't know
I think
about
they're basically trying to make a sort of Marvel gaming universe.
Yeah, because
or
you get,
something.
especially you get that in the Spider-Man game, didn't you?
Yeah.
'Cause you've got like the Sanctum Sanctorum, you've got
All
like
Sanctum
Wakanda
Sanctorum,
Blacks
yeah.
all I
and stuff
keep
like
seeing
that.
is that are the two games related now?
But I
Because
think
it's-
the developers
I think
are
if it did
completely
well-
different. That's
there's a throwaway line in the PS4 game where there's Avengers Tower in
Yeah.
the PS4
Mm.
Spider-Man, and there's a thing when you first discover it, he basically says, "Oh, I wonder where the Avengers are," and he says like, "Oh, they're on the West Coast, I think." And then when's the new Avengers game set? On the West Coast.
Yes.
And because of that, people are now thinking, right, they're connected.
It'd be the
It's a
interesting.
throwaway.
The only difference is that there's completely two different developers on that
I
one.
know that's the.
That's the
yeah.
only.
That'd be nice if they worked together.
If it
Yeah.
is, then brilliant. But
Yeah, I can't picture
These
it.
things rarely happen.
I
Yeah.
can't picture it. Not just you.
Well, Disney will just buy everyone out, and then they'll just all make the same game. I'd like to see a Doctor Strange game.
that would be
That'd be
interesting.
interesting.
That would be interesting. I think.
Depends who makes it, I think, and what
Yeah,
exactly it would
Hmm.
involve. It can't be an origin. It just
No, just sort of be like a continuation of that sort of story. Like you could have it in this MVU, the
make-
Marvel video game universe.
Yeah.
Make it like Dishonored. Make it stealthy, but then you can do like mystical
Make it like
stuff.
Bloodborne.
Now that would be cool.
Bloodborne. What?
Bloodborne. What?
You want people to be pissed off playing it.
People are
You
gonna
want
be,
people to
gonna
be
be
moaning
pissed.
at Marvel.
People are pissed off at this trailer. You might as well make it like go the full hog and just make people depressed when they play it.
Bloody hell.
Oh my god.
No.
Woo.
It's just no, because then you get a funny thing like when you die repeatedly, you just have him do the Benedict Cumberbatch thing of like Dormammu, I've come to bargain, and just keep dying over and over again. Dormammu,
Okay.
I've come to bargain.
There's George's Doctor Strange fan fiction.
There you go.
But as we've discovered, Marvel just listens to me because they put Steve back in time with Peggy because they knew.
Oh my god, I
oh,
loved that
yeah.
part. I did. Not gonna lie.
That was.
I was worried the whole time that film was on. I thought Captain America. I knew.
I thought Captain America was gonna die.
Screw Iron Man for a second. I thought America was dying.
I thought Captain America was gonna die.
No.
I genuinely thought he was going to.
Yeah.
No, because like when they're back in time in the 70s, and like you realise that this is the end of both of them.
Yeah.
Because like they're getting everything they want. Like he's getting reassurance from his dad and sort of like making up with it, like with Tony, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve's getting to see Peggy and that, and then sort of like working out like his issues, and you're like, yeah,
Something's
like
gonna happen.
only one of them would have died. Like you'd never would have get both of them died.
Nah.
And Iron Man was the necessary one because you're not the guy to make the sacrifice
Did
play.
you hear about the petition that fans were making to change the ending of Endgame so Iron Man lived?
Well, yeah. And millions
I
of
can
people
understand why
signed
fans
it.
are angry. I can understand why fans
That's why
do
we can't
that.
have nice things.
But-
No, you don't need it.
But you don't need that because I think to me it was the perfect ending for Iron Man.
It'd take away the ending of that film. It'd take the impact that Endgame had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you rewrote Iron Man.
because
Yeah.
they make a point of like, oh, there's no lasting deaths in the MCU, but then you've got it's
Oh,
like
you've got Iron Man.
apart from Quicksilver, like you've had nothing. But then Quicksilver didn't really matter.
No.
No, he
But
really
to have the
didn't, no.
man who started it be the one that sort of ends this like chapter of the story and takes it into a new direction by having the ultimate arc from like selfish like industrialist to selfless like hero who
Sacrificing himself to save the universe.
yeah, as Captain America said in Avengers 1, you're not the guy to make the sacrifice play.
I
but
like
then he
I like
makes
that
it.
they actually did that. Really, when you think about it, they actually switched on going that they were both wrong at each other because obviously Captain America had Thor's hammer.
Mm.
Whatever. I
Oh,
thought
that was the best moment.
Oh my god, I
was the
lost
best moment.
my shit when I saw that. I was just like, no! I was like, beat his ass!
He
Screw
literally
Captain
nearly
Marvel.
took Thanos down on his own.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel and Captain America for the win.
Danvers, we need an assist here. But it's like I like sort of like when it's just them three. It's just the Trinity, and they're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it, and then like because the snaps happen, but you just don't realise that. Oh yeah, all the other heroes are still alive. Like you don't realise until you just hear Sam go, "Sam, it's Cap, it's Sam."
Yeah, exactly. I was starting to
Oh
think,
my
where are
God,
they?
I completely
Where are they?
forgot
Where are
about
they?
that
Literally
as
at that
well.
point, then you're like, "Oh yeah, like everyone's alive again."
I thought that whole I love the whole sweeping shot of where you see all the characters just there,
and then the Avengers theme kicks in.
I was just like, yes.
I've got goosebumps talking about it.
The best payoff to anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like for those 11 years.
I think the interesting thing with Endgame is like not just did it create, there wasn't as much action compared to Infinity War, but
it's pretty dark as well.
It was very dark, but I think it was the character development, and obviously it was focused on the characters, like the drama of it, kept you engaged, especially for a 3-hour movie. Like
best 3 hours, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, it flies by.
It really that was the interesting thing. For a 3-hour film, it flew by, and I think that's good that they were able to do that.
And you have the ultimate payoff of like the biggest battle and like a season finale, if you will, of this. Like it's the first one that's felt like an ending. Like, it's not felt like an open book, whereas the others have, and this feels like, if you want to jump off,
you can.
This is the point.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, when Iron Man did die, I was bawling my eyes out.
Oh, man,
I know you were.
Every time I saw it, I cried.
I was just more, they actually did it.
I was surprised. Like, wow. I was surprised with Black Widow. Yeah. I was very surprised they did that, the way they did it.
Yeah, but then, like, you sort of thought, like, if whoever's going to Vormir, one of them's going to die because you have to, because that's been established.
I knew they were going Vormir again. One was going to die. It's like, but
then I thought they were gonna play with the subversions and make think, oh, like we're gonna like that would be the ultimate troll to bring back. Like, oh, Hawkeye wasn't in Infinity War, we'll bring him back just to kill him. So for me, I was like, well, he's not gonna die.
Yeah.
But then they have that whole the timeline thing. So there will be a way to bring Black Widow.
Well, I think they're currently filming that Black Widow movie at the moment.
Yeah,
but it's after Civil War.
Yeah, I think it's like after Civil War and before Infinity War. I'm thinking, so how's that gonna? I thought they were gonna go more with Budapest. The origin, like Budapest. Yeah, I thought they were gonna go something like that, but.
And finally, see the Black Widow Hawkeye relationship we've all been waiting for.
I'd have a Black Widow trilogy. You do the first one, you do have the first one like sort of based on that scene from Age of Ultron, like her ballet school. So then have that sort of like John Wick / Atomic Blonde style. Then you have like her sort of dealing with like being an Avenger in like through like Avengers 1, like Civil War and that. You can include all that, and then have her like in that time in Endgame, like as the ending, like where she's like that 5 years where she
just in the first film. That's the
no. The first film is ballet school. Second one is like Avengers through to like Civil War, and then you have like Civil War onwards going into hiding Secret Avengers and ending with them 5 years where she feels like she has to be the Nick Fury, like because she can't let it go. Then you see her grow from like being on her own to like feeling like she has to protect everyone.
And then we can find out how exactly she dyed her hair in between them years.
Yes.
Yeah.
How she went from
probably
being blonde, back to red, back to blonde, back to...
And then blonde, red, and then...
Hair growing, hair shorts.
Red, then dead. R.I.P. Scarlett Johansson. She's not really
for
dead.
now.
For now.
Yeah, like, you have the ability to sort of, like... Because Gamora 2014's out there somewhere. Nebula 2023 exists, even though she killed her other self, because... Reasons.
Yeah,
reasons.
So about the whole thing was saying about how Spider-Man Far From Home was like the snap caused the multiverse, basically, sort of thing. Even though Doctor Strange was the first, and on that one.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was the first one to see it. Yeah, but it wasn't sort of like
it wasn't for the Explorer, was it?
Yeah, because like he sort of like has that thing where sort of the Ancient One throws him through like the dimensions, and he like the world is much bigger than you know, sort of shit. But I feel like. I'm taking this very much as a sort of like Doctor Who Series 4 thing where all the world, like the snap is the reason the walls of reality are sort of like weak, which is allowing passage through. Like they've all existed, but now this is sort of like able.
The reason why.
But is Mysterio actually from the multiverse, or is he just lying because he's a massive liar?
I think it's that. I think he's lying, or he could be.
I think there is a multiverse. I just don't necessarily know if he's from it.
I saw a theory that there might be that people reckon you get different suits Spider-Man. They all reckon it's multiple Spider-Men, not just Tom Holland. They reckon it's multiple Spider-Men.
Yeah, like they basically want to sort of bring. They all sort of want to bring in like.
I haven't seen that, but I'm not
multiple Spider-Man.
Yeah, because they're looking to like link this into Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Like there is a way for that thing to be bridged because there's all.
I heard something about Venom was actually linked to that as well, or something. Wasn't it, or something?
Spider-Verse.
Apparently, I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know.
That might be a way to jump him over,
maybe,
because I know that the Sony MU is adjacent, but they have like the ability to say, oh, if you like Tom Holland Spider-Man, we're going to keep him on after the Marvel contract ends and shit like that.
Because they've got one more film for that.
Yeah, he's down for 4 films in total, and 3 of them are MCU films, or 3 of them are solo MCU films. 'cause it doesn't
I heard
count
there was
for
talk they were
much.
going to extend it apparently as well, possibly.
I think Sony should just fucking sell all their shit.
Oh, I agree. I think they should send it all back to Marvel.
Yeah,
Exactly, just
They got the X-Men and the Fantastic Four back now. So now give us Spider-Man, then we're golden.
even though we just said competition's like good, but then at the same time, just give it to Disney. They're going to buy you out eventually, so just do it.
Plus Disney know how to do it right.
Oh yeah, Disney.
Like Disney are the reason that Homecoming is the most popular Spider-Man film since arguably Spider-Man 2.
Is that actually, or is that what you think?
Well, it is, like,
the
it's-
most popular one?
Marvel Studios had the creative control of it. Sony did the distribution and marketing. That was it.
Yeah,
And that
like, they cracked the key to a good Spider-Man film. Let Marvel
Yeah.
do it.
Like to me, my favourite Spider-Man is Tom Holland. I think.
I think Tobey Maguire is the perfect Peter Parker.
Mm.
Andrew Garfield is the perfect persona of Spider-Man in the suit, like being cocky.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland is the best mix of all of that.
Yeah.
And sort of like embodies him actually as...
literally the only thing that
character.
bothers me is his face. He's 23, yet he looks like a kid.
But that's acting.
He's Spider Boy. To me, just
Yeah,
look
but-
at his
but-
Spider
but-
Boy.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the comics is he calls himself Spider-Man to be recognised by the others because like
Well,
he
yeah.
is so young. But and the appeal of him is he is a kid playing in an adult's world.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, but even in the comics, and you look at Maguire, and you look at Garfield, you look at them and you think they're older.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
With Holland, ignoring his age, I keep saying he's 23, but like I look at him and I think he's like 13, 14.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like he's just and the thing is with this film, Far From Home, as soon as this film will end, he will then have that transition being like, right, now I'm Spider-Man. Or do you think that'll be the end of the third solo Spider-Man? He will then
He's
finally
always
go-
been Spider-Man. He's just like it's because
Not yet.
but the whole thing of like in the comics is he is a kid, and that is the appeal. Is he? You don't like kids are normally the sidekicks, but he is just like
He's
on
his
his
own
own
guy.
trying to. And that was a
Yeah.
lot of in Homecoming because he wants all those adult responsibilities, and like saving people. Like I just want to be like you, and Tony Stark's like I wanted you to be better.
Mm.
And then this one is gonna be like is him sort of realizing that it's not all about becoming an adult because he still wants to cling on to his youth. That's why he's doing the trip. And then the third one that will be in his senior year will be sort of him sort of coming to terms with where he is
Then
in terms of the world and where he stands.
Mm.
And it's great how Tony Stark was the Uncle Ben because then you
Yes.
Yeah.
cared.
Yes, exactly.
Then you cared. Like I love it. They throw away line in Homecoming about Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
And then
it
it's-
literally was mentioned once, and that was it.
Mm.
I think it's good they didn't fully go into the whole origin again because I think a lot of people
For
be like,
time.
for the
We've
third
seen
time,
it.
it's like we've seen it
But we'll
twice
definitely
already.
get that with Batman, won't we?
Oh God! Oh God! Don't get me started on that. Ah.
Yeah, I love that in Civil War. It's like, yeah, I've had these powers for 6 months, and like,
Yes,
I feel like, and it's like when you have these powers and you don't do something, then it's your fault. And it was basically the like great power, great responsibility thing.
Yeah,
So you get, so it is alluded to that the same sort of thing has happened,
you just haven't seen.
but we know that wouldn't have an impact on us because it would be like first film we meet him, Uncle Ben dies again.
Yeah.
Whereas having
Yeah.
it be Tony Stark, who is the mentor and like sees himself in Peter, and does
Yeah.
a lot of the things because of him, and that's the only reason he goes back in time in Endgame.
it's because of Peter.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
having that arc from Civil War to Endgame, and then having it will have more of a profound effect on the audience and him because the man he's looked up to is now dead.
Because of him.
Yeah.
Because of himself.
Made the sacrifice, play, man.
Because of himself.
Yes.
Made the sacrifice, play, man. Far From Home would be great.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be
round
good.
off Phase 3. It'll round off this.
Worst film of the year. Just imagine if it's the biggest.
Oh,
There's no
Jesus.
multiverse. Mysterio isn't Mysterio. They're going to do a Mandarin twist. There's a real Mysterio out there somewhere. This guy's just an actor.
I
Oh God.
wouldn't mind that.
You would.
Really?
I wouldn't be against it because the thing that I like plus dislike in equal measure about Iron Man 3 is the Mandarin twist because it's like it would make sense for them to like have like a figurehead, but then like you have in All Hail the King, it's like the short on the Thor DVD,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh no, the real one's still out there, and he hates that you're using his name. It's like, oh, so then you've still got the ability to do that story. It's just that the fact they haven't done it in like the last 6 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they probably won't do it,
Because there's Mandarin is an Iron Man villain unless they get a new Iron Man
or unless he becomes like a big bad and like a minion of Galactus or something. You don't.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of them forgotten Marvel moments that
Yeah.
was just brought up for no reason.
Yeah, because there's not many loose threads, but that's one of them that's sort of like, yeah.
Out there in the cosmos.
But they
Yes.
reckon that the buyer of Avengers Tower is Norman Osborn.
Yes.
Yay.
I would like that.
Yay.
Like, I tell you, it'd be interesting if they went towards like a Dark Avengers sort of thing with that.
We were literally just saying this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We literally just
We even cast everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because he's meant to be. You said like he's going to be like an Earthbound villain sort of thing in Captain Marvel.
He's not going to be the Goblin straight away. I think if they
I'm
just
happy with that.
instantly rushed him and made him
Back to formula.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Out am I?
No, I think he's going to be the more sinister, like Earthbound.
He's going to be like Justin Hammer, but relevant and with money.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's someone I'd like to see come back, just to see like now that Tony Stark and Stark Industries has
It might
changed.
allude into the Homecoming post-credits thing. You know, who was it? Vulture got spoke to in the prison.
Scorpion. He was Scorpion. Was that him?
Yeah, it's
Sinister
like,
Six. It could be like that route because they've got a mysterious lead. It could be Norman. Like.
yeah, they could.
Apparently, they were casting for someone called the Benefactor, so that's probably alluding to Norman Osborn, anyways, as well.
Benefactor. Oh, I like that.
That's got to be. That's
Do
got
you
to be.
remember fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2 where it's just like the origin hall. It's just like Vulture's wings.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God! Don't get me started. on
Like,
Amazing Spider-Man 2. Jesus, it was amazing.
Like it was. It'd be.
Oh God!
It'd be fine if like, then that would sort of become the base of the Sinister Six. If like Osborn bought out like Avengers Tower, like I'd be fine with that. Because that makes sense. It gives it sort of like a sense of like other things and can link into the Sonyverse, whatever the fuck they do, like Morbius and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely don't have him become Goblin straight away. Because
No.
Norman Osborn is such an issue. And if they, like we said, if they went into like having him found Hammer now that Shield's gone, having like that sort of like you said, build towards the Dark Avenger storyline.
The next big sort of organisational threat.
Yeah, and then it could be like them like trying to deal with the whole Dark Avengers thing whilst you've got like an incoming Galactus.
Yeah.
Like that could Civil War split the team, but this could just sort of divide everything. Like, and then they're sort of really at a weak point.
But then there's more that we spoke about. Because previously it was, I don't know if you knew, Secret Invasion with the Skrulls.
Yes, I know about Secret Invasion. Yeah.
Well,
They could still be doing. They could still do that.
Yeah, we talked about.
And Kevin Feige did say after the release of Captain Marvel that there are bad Skrulls out there. They're not.
Oh
all
yeah, because
good.
Telos is very much in like like some of us just want peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell that not all, and he like said not all Skrulls are bad, so they could still do Secret Invasion. I would be down for that.
We did have a good idea for it.
We did.
So like with Norman Osborn coming in, and this would be sort of like how you would found Hammer.
Because he's previously, sorry to cut you off.
That's
He's
fine.
previously reported as well of like this week Captain Marvel 2. He's going to be one of the Earthbound.
Ooh.
Instead of being whoever the main villain Captain Marvel 2 is, he's going to be like in the background of it. Supposedly as well.
Like that country guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh God.
I'm just a simple man.
Imagine that was Norman Osborn the whole time.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Imagine.
People be like, what?
So in Far From Home, apparently there's a scene that Tom Holland described it where it'll be one of these like kick in the head moments. Like it'll be one of these like.
Yes, I heard
damn,
that.
You should have seen it coming.
Happy's his
Yes, I
dad.
heard about that.
Happy Hogan's his dad. No,
Oh my God.
yeah, because we said like about like the way to do Secret Invasion is to sort of see now I'm like sort of deliberating on which one of them would be, but like have either Nick Fury or Norman Osborn revealed to be a Skrull.
Oh, that would.
My original thing was like what we said, like he actually did die in Winter Soldier, but a Skrull took his place because how did he survive all them injuries?
Now that I'd be down for that. I would.
And like so he's sort of like maybe one of the good ones, but then he's being hunted and experimented on by Norman Osborn
Now that would be a
in
weird
Dark Avengers Tower or Oscorp.
Now that.
And then he thinks that you need to fight these monsters, like you need to find them all. That's why he assembles the Sinister Six and funds Hammer Industries.
Now that would be a hell of a twist. The possibilities are endless. But I can say this: I trust Marvel Studios.
I trust them whatever they do.
100%.
With all of our lives.
Yes, 100%.
With all of the properties going forward, you know that Kevin or whoever's going to bring him in when he eventually leaves, like, will be like it will be done in a way that streamlines it and is unexpected, but is still faithful.
Yeah.
Adaptation.
They're comics, yeah.
Because there's rumours that the snap causes mutation. Like it sort of like the people that come back with a bit of an abnormality in them, which then develops into mutation, which would then see the X-Men sort of be born.
I thought the whole thing, the multiverse, could have been that way as well, but their way of bringing the X-Men.
Yeah, I think they would have done that if they want to keep certain actors.
True.
Mutation.
I thought you were going to do like the whole like Professor X speech from the beginning of X-Men. Every 2,000
When you say
millennia
about mutation,
jumps forward.
I'm thinking far from
Charles?
Some of the school kids are mutated without them knowing.
Yeah, and then they become like
The first mutants.
yeah, that's like the whole thing. It's like, but then you
The first
wouldn't necessarily get a storyline like Apocalypse, which I'm fine with.
No.
Because Apocalypse doesn't need to be done anytime
No, but
soon.
that'll be a way, as opposed to the X-Men coming through a portal, and be like, yeah, we're always here, like we've said previously on the.
Oh yeah, my dream was for it to be like sort of the ending of Days of Future Past, which
Yeah.
we can talk about more in depth in a minute.
Yes.
That when Wolverine comes back and then like the future's changed around him, that it was going to be like they'd come back like it would have been changed, and then like the X-Men would have already been there, so like they always existed. But like from our point of view, like coming from like Scott or someone who's just come back from traveling through time, that like who are you guys? But they've always been there in that timeline because they've fixed it in the past and sort of changed it.
Oh yes.
And then you could just sort of have like James McAvoy just like talking to Rocket Raccoon or something.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
That'd be a scene.
Charles.
God, Maggie.
That'd
But
be a
Maggie with
scene.
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool with all the Avengers and everything.
I really wanted him to be like an end credits.
Well,
Just like to run in with like mouse ears.
You know, oh my god, that would be amazing. if they
Hey
did
guys,
that.
what did I miss? Guys.
But I think the interesting thing, I looked up something about what when they first obviously it was Disney bought out Fox completely and the deal was done. Like they said, all but Deadpool were going to be rebooted and recasted. They said Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds will be the only one that will stay in the MCU.
It makes sense.
It'll be interesting because obviously he's a very more R-rated character compared to everything else. But I think the thing is when they obviously again with the deal is that Bob Iger did say that he's still going to go with doing R-rated Marvel movies.
As long as they know, yeah. But
So-
they sort of like have looked at the possibility of making him PG-13, haven't they? Because that's when that Once Upon a Deadpool was out.
Yes.
They apparently, like Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, like all the high ups at Disney and the Marvel Studios were sort of like watching to see if it is possible. Because that would obviously
That'll be a way of
make
doing
more
it.
money, yeah. But you new to the character, you sort of lose a lot of the what makes Deadpool.
Yeah.
And you want him to sort of like rip the piss out of like the Disney merger deal. Like, that's the
100%.
first joke I want.
Oh, I hope they do
I
that.
want a joke about Josh Brolin as well. Thanos, he's like, wait,
No, he
no,
didn't-
my buddy Cable?
No, but like he does that in Deadpool 2.
Yes, he does.
Like I love it I love how it doesn't linger on it. Like he just goes, "Pump the hate brakes, Thanos," and it's not like it stops like on like if it had like stopped on Josh Brolin and just had him go what, but it's the fact that it just moves on.
Yeah.
Pump
Pump the hate brakes, Thanos.
It's gonna be interesting to see
Whoa.
how Marvel are gonna integrate the X-Men. Into
Yeah,
the
'cause
MCU.
they
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, they were looking at either doing another solo Deadpool film, have him in the third Spider-Man,
Which I would, yeah.
which we've discussed, and
I can
which would then and to go with the home theme of titling, have him and Spider-Man be in it and call it Spider-Man Homies.
Yes.
Or have him
Now that would be
Or
hilarious.
have him in a Deadpool limited series on Disney Plus. But then
Spider-Pool.
I think Disney Plus wouldn't happen. I think because
No.
from what it's not like Netflix where Netflix go very dark, like especially what they did with like the Defenders, like Jessica Jones and all that.
R.I.P.
Disney Plus, yeah, for RIP. But
Yeah.
I don't think Disney are gonna do that with Disney Plus with Deadpool.
No.
It won't work. Like I think because it's gonna be very much more family PG-13 than R-rated.
If they had to do anything, it'd be like animated shorts.
Yes.
Just non-canon, non-continuity, nothing. It would just be like little fun shorts.
Yeah. That would be it. It couldn't be a full live action series. It just wouldn't.
Would you stick a Deadpool live action series on Hulu now that Disney owns a greater percentage of it by buying out Fox? Like have it as an exclusive Hulu thing? I think he just belongs as Ryan Reynolds on the big screen.
Yeah,
I think there's
I
not
think-
a story small enough for him to. Sort
Yeah,
of,
I think just stand the big screen. I think that's the best
So if
option.
they did want to do Disney Plus like TV stuff, they could do like his best comic arcs, like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
I would
And
like-
just
Yes.
take the mick out of them and like redo them.
I said like you could do that. You should do that as the first Deadpool thing, but have it as a dream sequence in Deadpool's head,
Yes.
and then you can have the actors of the MCU like portray themselves like as a self parody, and then that's how you get a Hugh Jackman cameo. He's
Oh
like,
my god, that would be a
like,
great
but
way of
he is-
doing it.
but- Yeah, but he is Hugh Jackman and not like he's like
Wolverine,
like
yeah.
someone said like I want to see him like just trying to get Hugh Jackman like you got to remember man when you're a Wolverine, just slapping him like he does in the game. He's not waking up.
He's not waking up.
Oh, man,
There's too many ideas. That's the thing. Too many
Yes.
who would you cast as the new Wolverine? Because they said that's the first thing they're looking for.
I think it's the most important one. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you can't really go ahead and do this without him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Dark Phoenix.
For anyone not guessing, we're now in the X-Men portion of this podcast.
Finally.
Yep.
Finally.
We made our way.
Yep, that was why I'm doing it.
I don't know, because there's Tom Hardy was meant to be in it, but I just think he's sort of in everything. Like there's always a point where Hollywood chooses one actor and just puts him in everything.
Yeah.
And I like that Tom Hardy sort of only really chooses it off of, like, what he likes. He doesn't sort of just go, yeah, I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah.
I don't really think there's anyone. I want a couple of X-Men movies or X-Men related movies without mention or like anything of him. Like, just let Wolverine sort of just settle and then they find him.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or then have him sort of link up with the Hulk fighting the Wendigo, like when they first met in the comics.
Mm-hmm. It's quite hard. I think it's quite a hard one to find out because you got to really. I mean, I think for what. Yes, even though it's Hugh Jackman, and he's currently tall compared to the comics, but like, it's like to try and find someone that sort of the legacy that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine left. Like, because obviously Hugh Jackman's Wolverine for what 17 years or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Jeez, yeah, something. Yeah.
Something not way longer than Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony
Oh
Stark.
yeah.
It's like they've got It's gonna. I think it's probably gonna be their hardest.
Embodied
task.
that spirit, but sort of has to bring their own spin on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that appeal of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, they've got a really. It's probably going to be, out of all the casting choices, probably going to be the hardest to find.
Yeah,
I think
anyone can be bald in Hollywood. Bryan Cranston.
Did you hear about how someone actually people made a petition to have Danny DeVito as Wolverine?
No.
I am not against that.
No, that could be like if they had to do a Spider-Verse.
Charlie.
Make it like X-Men first. If they did like an X-Men.
Oh, imagine it.
Alternative Wolverines.
Oh my god.
I would
love
love.
any future film that dabbles into alternate versions of themselves. Or say like Deadpool. Film.
Yeah.
I'm just literally talking out of my head now. But
Yeah.
say like there's a Disney Plus series where they actually do meet alternative versions of other characters. Wolverine.
Or it was like
Wolverine.
Into the Spider-Verse style.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but they can actually like meet other versions. And go, wait, that's me from another thing. That's me.
Yeah, like and have Danny DeVito Wolverine be like the Spider Ham of that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh my god, yes.
One, yeah. Yeah,
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
No, like,
My favourite line in that film. What a pig. I'm right here.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was really good.
I need to buy that.
That was my favourite film of the year.
That was 100%.
I need to buy
And then
that.
a film where Black Panther and Infinity War came out. That's no mean feat.
Yes.
Speaking, because you had like people who would like be up for Norman Osborn, because we went into
We're
that.
bringing it back.
Yeah, bringing it all back.
Yes.
Because Michael Keaton was on it,
Yeah.
and so was Bryan Cranston.
See, I thought when I read that, it's for saying that this is 3 years ago though.
Yeah.
This article.
In an ideal world, Cranston would have been the Vulture,
Yes.
and Keaton would have been Norman Osborn.
Yeah. That would have.
But Wolverine, maybe, to sort of redeem himself from Apocalypse, maybe Oscar Isaac.
As Wolverine.
Ooh.
Bulk him up.
Exactly. I'm like.
I don't know. That's a.
I
I think what Marvel might do, because this is the sort of route they've gone through a lot of their casting, is not really choose massive actors.
No.
Because when you
Yeah.
think about, obviously, say for example, Chadwick Boseman, and like compared to also Oscar Isaac, like before Black Panther, he was not in obviously really big films, and obviously since Black Panther, the MCU, and obviously more. Like I think they'll continue that trend that they've set since
go for an
unknown.
They're like sort of like they're on sort of normally their outskirts sometimes of being a star. Because with Chris Pratt, that sort of like then launched him onto Jurassic World and sort of stuff like that. And Downey Jr. was a big name in Hollywood anyway, and was the biggest risk.
I think the unknown is the best way to go. Because say in my head, Keanu Reeves, because I just physically looking at Keanu Reeves and all right, he's
not stocky enough.
He's turning into a bit of who you mentioned 5 minutes ago. Who's been Tom Hardy. You just said he's been a bit of everything lately. I feel like Keanu Reeves has been a bit of stuff. But I feel
He's
like
still
if
very
they say
selective.
This person will be him. There will be a bit of backlash. Whereas if you say get an unknown, we can't really moan at him.
Yeah, you can't really judge them until
Because
you're
we don't
never
know
going to
who he
judge
is.
until you see them.
Because we don't know who he is.
I think that's where Marvel will go with. They'll go on that route because I think.
They have to.
You gotta give credit to them. They've done well with their casting with the MCU.
really have.
Especially
They
with
really
the
have.
casting director whose name escapes me. Like she's casted every single MCU movie
Yes.
apart from one. Can you guess which one?
Oh.
I'll give you a clue. They recast the part in Avengers.
Hulk.
Yep. That's the only
okay.
one she
Hulk.
wasn't cast and director on.
I can
I
understand.
can understand that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Mark Ruffalo is definitely better. I'll say
I
that.
would have said
100%.
yes to Edward Norton. Not saying he wasn't good in the Hulk, but I don't know.
Edward Norton was the perfect Bruce Banner. I think Ruffalo embodies sort of both.
Yeah.
Like you can believe he is both, whereas
Yeah.
Norton it's like very much split personality. You believe he is Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
You just don't believe that the Hulk resides inside him.
Yeah. Without eating him because he's just too much of a
Oh,
Banner.
hate the stairs.
No Banner.
No Banner. Oh right, don't mention Puny Banner. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Or when he in the Age of Ultron when he hits him like Hulk spits out a tooth and just Tony goes, "I'm sorry." He just throws him through a building.
Stay.
Even though Age of Ultron was a little bit of a mess, I still thoroughly enjoyed it on that one.
I prefer it in
remember
some
Ultron.
respects better than the first Avengers.
Yeah.
In certain aspects, yes, I agree. I think
It
the
builds
one,
on it and makes it darker.
the one thing I wish they did with Ultron was made him not jokey. I wish they made him more sinister. Like the way they start when you first introduce when Ultron first appeared in Age of Ultron, that was so perfect. I loved the way they did it with it, and I wish they continued that throughout the film because I'll say the teaser trailer they released for it, the very first one, with the whole sort of "I've got no strings" sort of theme playing over it.
Oh yeah, Dark Disney
Will
monologue.
to me always be the best trailer I've ever watched.
Oh, yeah.
And like to
Especially
me,
because when he starts talking, isn't it?
yes, I wish they actually continued that theme with it because it would have worked so well, and like
Oh yeah.
to make it a really dark sequel, and then he sort of
That is a good trailer, isn't it?
it's so good. I loved it so much.
But now I'm free. And then it's just a close up. There are no strings on me. Oh, chills, man.
It was such a good trailer. I loved that one.
Speaking of good trailers, X-Men Dark Phoenix never had one, so.
Yay.
The reviews on that. Woo!
Oh, you just wait till Connor starts speaking.
Oh, what the hell?
Should we? All right.
What the hell?
We'll
Why is everything aimed at me?
I'm just giving you more to do.
I think he's making.
okay.
He's going to make
picking
you
you
the
up.
star of the podcast, Connor.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm passing it on. This is the next generation.
All right, Robert
The
Downey
baton.
Jr.
Yeah.
I'll
You
rip it from your dead corpse.
literally.
Oh God.
Oh, like in Endgame when he gets thrown up to Valkyrie. Nice to meet you. Oh my god! If that's not a ride at Disney, at some
Oh my
point,
God, they've got to do it.
like just the
Hey,
like
Peter
the
Parker.
Valkyrie ride.
Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me?
I don't know how you're gonna get it for all that. Don't worry, she's got help. Then it's just an A-Force movie would be great. Anyway,
Oh my God, yes.
we're done with good Marvel movies. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the mediocre bunch.
The Fox first. Before we go into that,
Yes.
animated series revival. We've not mentioned it. How can we mention it? Disney Plus.
Because
Yes.
we were waiting for this exact moment.
Please do. Please do it. The animated series was brilliant.
The original writers, everyone's
The best,
discussing it with Disney Plus.
Yes.
the best thing
Disney
about
Plus,
the
you
animated
better do
series
it.
is the Dark Phoenix adaptation, which was really
Best
good.
thing about- yeah.
Scott, please.
Oh God.
And the best theme tune in all of television ever.
It is.
Oh,
When I think
hell
I think
yes.
That song. Yeah. It
I
is.
still remember watching that when I was younger. I was thinking,
I've never seen all of it, but I want
They
to.
need to box set that now.
Yes.
Give it to me in my eyeballs.
yes.
Okay, so we'll start at the very beginning. It's a very good place.
So we have to.
I feel like we
Yes.
should go for a release date instead of because I'm not doing timeline because I don't
no,
have
it's not
I
that,
don't
it's
have
not
the
that.
ability
No.
to
The
bend
The
my
time, the
head around
timeline,
this.
doing it through a timeline would be just so muddled.
They purposely tried to fix the timeline because they realised themselves they got it into a corner and they're like, we kind of need to redo stuff.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be in a different order, that trilogy. But more on that later.
Yes.
Later. Alright.
Go on,
So,
Tom.
the
Tom,
beginning.
start us on X-Men 2000.
Ooh. I'll say it was a very good start on it. With I think I'll say with the first X-Men film, for like obviously superhero films at the time, that was obviously one of the first.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sort of kicked it on like that, and
it
Blade
sort of-
was sort of like
Yeah.
The OGs.
I think to me that was one of the. I have my personal favourite, but we'll leave that for later on. But
that's fine. We're all about opinions.
it was a good way of. I think the way it did it with. It was very dark when you think about it as well. For being.
Yeah.
It's very much an early 2000s
Yeah.
movie, but in
I-
the best ways.
I think for me the X-Men films are sort of more dramas than
Soaps.
more so.
All soaps.
Yeah, I think.
It's High School Musical with mutants and no
Oh,
singing.
Oh God.
Like,
Like
there is a bit of soaring, a bit of flying.
Zac Efron as Cyclops.
For MCU.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, no.
I think he's got range. Ted Bundy.
Oh god.
Ted Bundy. Oh, we went Ted Bundy as Cyclops.
Yeah, raise him from the dead and have him play.
Ted Bundy as Cyclops.
Anyway.
I think for what, but I've said what the first X-Men film was it was a good start. It was a solid, good film. I think
bare bones, sort of like the essentials.
good. You got, I mean, I think you had a really good cast. I mean, like with Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen,
It's magical.
like you had
Their chemistry as well.
They're brilliant. It was brilliant. You actually said about Ian McKellen. He actually came to my school once.
Did he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he actually came to my school when he actually did a little speech from Shakespeare in it, and oh my god, it was amazing.
I can imagine.
It
What
was.
a man.
We
I'd
literally
love to
we
meet
all
Ian
we all
McKellen.
stood up and applauded for him. It was fantastic. It was.
He's a fantastic, and the best thing I will say, like even in the bad movies, like when they are there, like the chemistry between whatever iteration of Charles and Magneto is always the most.
spot
It's
on.
one of the most compelling things about this arc is people that like don't hate each other, but they just sit on different sides of the fence.
Yeah.
And they have that equal understanding of each other's opinions.
Even to the end in Dark Phoenix, that was one of the highlights of the film.
Jesus Christ.
Their
You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, but nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
That was good. But like them two, like it's just that meeting, like where you see, like, because they keep them like
Beginning,
silhouetted.
Yeah,
like, in the
I liked the way they did that.
and then you just cut to them like on that walkway, just like, and it's just close ups of their face, and they're just like acting the socks off of it.
I think even the ending of it, where like
Playing chess,
playing chess, such a good way of it. I think.
which was so good that scene that they decided to remake it in Apocalypse with that same dialogue.
Oh Jesus!
Feel a great swell of pity for the poor soul who comes to my school looking for trouble.
To me, I'd always prefer. I mean, I like what they've done with obviously the younger versions, but like to me, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen will always be those two for me. Professor X and Magneto, 100%.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, without doubt.
We're the future Charles, not them. We get Storm's weird voice, where she's got her accent but doesn't have her accent,
Later on.
which they sort of then do with Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Like she was Russian, and then by Civil War she's just normal.
Yeah.
As you do. Yeah, as you do.
That's fair enough. It's like, well, do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. One of the most pointless one-liners. And like, yeah, Ray Park's in X-Men. Oh, he's been electrocuted.
Hello,
We loved you in Phantom Menace. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Oh no.
Again.
Oh no.
At last we reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Peter Serafinowicz. He should be in it. I love Peter Serafinowicz.
God.
I'm just going to name
Jesus.
people now.
Good name.
Critique is really good. Season 2, not that great. But still a good character.
Critique.
Hmm?
Critique, did you say?
The Tick.
Oh, the Tick.
Open your fucking ears.
Critique. I heard critique.
The Tick on Amazon Prime.
All right. Another cheap plug.
Oh yeah, I love it. Anyway,
Speaking
yeah,
of good,
I love
Good Omens.
X-Men. Have you watched Good Omens?
Not yet, but no. That's all I keep bloody saying.
There's 6 episodes. I'm all an hour long. I'm spacing them out. Like I've watched like 2. I'm on the 3rd one. It's so good. Michael Sheen and David Tennant are so good. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again.
Next week's project.
There you go.
X-Men 1 is like it's so watchable as well because it's just like not the whole like baggage of the mythos. It's sort of like if you're new to this is what you need to know.
Yeah.
I've only seen it twice, and that's all I remember. It weren't one of these like lore heavy. It weren't one of these like this is the X-Men. This is what we do. These are all the characters. It literally was like, okay, character here, character there, good and evil, bang.
Yeah.
That's kind of all it needed to be.
Good old battle between good versus evil. That's
Very
what you got
simple
for
as
that.
well.
It was very simplified.
Yeah. I think that was a good way of doing it for starting it off because obviously back then the only real big superhero movies there was DC, like Superman and all that.
Well, and then you had Batman and Robin like 3 years before, and then
Oh,
that was
Jesus.
kind of the end of it.
Oh god, yeah, that was the end of
This
DC's
is why
reign of it.
Superman works alone.
Oh yes.
Never leave the Batcave without it, and he's just got a
Forever.
credit card.
And even after BVS, he should be alone. Don't do that ever again,
Yep.
DC. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, we talked about enough DC last
Don't
week.
ever
I'm
do
not
that
doing that again.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again.
I watched that podcast and you two and it was like, oh my god,
Savaged.
Well,
Quick DC tangent. They think Oscar Isaac would make a good Two-Face, and I'm not against that.
I would say yeah to that.
I would say so actually.
I
Yeah,
would say yes to that.
I think he'd be quite
He's
right.
got the look.
He's a very Harvey Dent-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
X-Men 2. X2 X-Men United.
X2, yeah.
2003. You know they were going to put Wolverine in the cameo in Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi one, like on the
Really?
rooftop.
They
Yeah.
were.
Yeah. They're
That
like
would've been crazy.
they were
That
like
would have been crazy.
world universes. There are some X-Men universe things that I will get into when we get there.
I mean, they did that in the animated series. I mean, it would have been cool if they actually
Oh,
did
yeah.
that cameo.
Yeah,
It would have been cool if they did
that would have been very cool.
That would have been like just like wait, what? Wolverine and Spider-Man? Like that could have blown the MCU out the water before it was even conceived.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Good
I
choice.
love X-Men 2 so much.
that was
Oh, so
so good.
I think
People
the
think
best-
it's
the best
overrated,
one.
but it just sort
The
of
best
like
one.
it just builds on
I have to
everything that come
disagree with you
before.
on that one. I think.
Okay. Alright.
Like-
Okay.
No, it's like when because like a lot of
we'll
people,
obviously go into it, but
Yeah, no.
a lot of people
Yeah.
think it's like I'm really overrated, but it's just it sort of just hones in on everything that happened the first time and just sort of just expands it a
amplifies
bit. Yeah,
makes it better. Yeah, that's what I remember about X2 as well.
and I
to
like,
me, X2 was one of the best.
definitely
100%.
for me that and like First Class is like
Yes.
the pinnacle.
For me, it would go First Class and X2. For me.
Controversial.
Oh.
I love
Oh.
that we open with that scene with Nightcrawler in the president.
that is
Yes.
one of the most
In the White
badass
House.
That
intros
was-
to ever,
And it-
That
yeah.
was such a good way.
And you don't see Alan Cummings' face in that whole sequence. I love it. It's just sort of like
Yeah.
just him evaporating and then it's just the knife, and then it's just like gone, and then it's like just starts, and then you get like Wolverine
Best
in Alkali
intros.
Lake. You get the best version of the Weapon X storyline
Yes.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
in this film.
100%.
In any version, yeah.
The best version of Stryker, the best.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because
Agree
like
with
the thing I love that Origins doesn't do is like, you know, when he sort of wakes up and he's got like just the blood on his claws and he's just like screaming because he doesn't remember. It's like that's horrifying. I want to see that version.
Yeah.
Yeah, not what we
Not
have,
like,
we got
and he's just like got his
King
knob
Kong,
out in a
like-
swimming pool,
in a hot tub.
Yeah.
The water's too hot.
Oh, no.
and he just runs out and makes it like big X. It's like
No, cheesy.
I
Very
the
cheesy.
new characters we get. I like Pyro and like
Oh,
Iceman. That sort of like arc that we
That-
get sort of
yeah.
finished off in Last
Free.
Stand. Yeah. So good. And the Rogue, like her whole thing is just like she just wants to be a normal girl,
Yeah.
and Wolverine's a reluctant sort of like
Father figure sort
Yeah.
of thing.
But he initially wants to go off, has nothing to do with the X-Men. He's like, no, I've got to find out about my life.
The
Goodbye.
only bad thing about like this trilogy is Cyclops. Is that he was such a main player in the series, in the comics, that he's just
And
like
he's just
plays
watered
second
down.
fiddle to
Yeah.
Wolverine because Wolverine was so popular.
And all Cyclops ever was Wolverine's love opponent for Dream. That's
That
all
was
he
really
ever was.
it.
That's all he ever did.
Definitely.
It was always them two butting heads over Dream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing
Logan,
else.
stay away from my girl.
The major love triangle of that trilogy.
The first love triangle of all triangles.
Yes.
They sort of still have that thing where they just knock Professor X out of action and then he just comes back later. They do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then he puts on Cerebro and it's like,
Alright.
no.
Alright, as you do.
Yep.
Yeah, because he puts it on because like Mystique's put something in it or whatever, and then like he passes
It's a
out.
weird poison thing. That was
Yeah.
That completely scrambled his mind. Went,
Oh, no.
That's the only sort of thing that's weak about this film, but everything else is just like it looks great. Like it's back when Bryan Singer wasn't a horrible man.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pinnacle. And for 2003, it doesn't feel like a 2003 movie.
No,
it
No.
feels
Definitely not.
It feels very ageless
It
in that you
holds
can
up
still.
today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It holds up completely today.
X-Men, Trez,
Oh, God.
The
Last
last
Stand.
Well, it clearly wasn't.
The
But
Last Stand. Even though we're going to do another 9 of these.
stay tuned, folks.
This movie, Jesus Christ.
The last not stand.
The first attempt at doing Dark Phoenix, and it wasn't even Dark Phoenix, really, was
It
it?
weren't.
I will argue with this. It has done a hell of a lot better than Dark Phoenix done it.
Yeah, I heard that. It's
Yeah.
the thing is like it's the weird thing of X-Men Last Stand. I think is like it's compared to the first two, it's not that great, but
Oh,
it
no,
can
definitely not.
It can still be entertaining.
Definitely.
It can still be hilarious, especially if you've got the Juggernaut bits, sort of thing like that. That
Don't you know who I
I
am?
am.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Like you got, it's very corny and very cheesy, but it can be entertaining. It's an entertaining film to watch.
It's the Batman and Robin of the X-Men films. It's
Oh,
bad,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah,
I wished I watched X3 before Dark Phoenix because you said this was better the Dark Phoenix adaptation than Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix is horrible.
it is. We'll get into it as to why, but I feel
Yeah.
like I know why.
I'm just gonna move this mic closer because your level's low and I don't know what's happening with that mic. So.
Well,
Well,
there we go.
well.
I mean, we're
any
like an hour
better
and 40. I don't know.
No?
Big look. Hang on.
Something? Yeah?
Say something.
Hello? Dark Phoenix?
There you go.
Yes, there we go.
Wait.
It's just going. Yeah,
You're good
Dark
at front
Phoenix. Yeah.
Dark Phoenix, Dark Phoenix.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, it's not as bad as people make out.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's
No.
still a very watchable movie. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but there's some. It's enjoyable, and it's done better because you are invested in these characters, just due to the fact that you've watched them for this is the third movie. Whereas let's not bring in Jean and then one movie later let's have her be the Dark Phoenix. Well, they wouldn't do that, would they?
Damn you, Fox.
God damn you, Fox.
Oh well, they're dead now.
There you go.
I really don't want to. Well, actually, the disintegrating Charles thing, and then he transfers into that coma patient in the thing, and
that was a bit bizarre.
Magneto being cured, but then he can move the chess piece.
At the end,
Yeah,
that's
so
how it
it's
ended,
like-
isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's like, wait, so he's not cured? There was no point to this story. There's no payoff. What?
Yeah.
And we'll never know. And we'll never know where that was going to go.
Yep.
God. And Kelsey Grammer's good as Beast. I really do like him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was
There
awesome.
comes a time whenever you'll get the point. Or when he just my stars and garters. This is when the timeline really starts to sort of like get fucked. Because they're talking about like and then you get the first de-aging thing with Jean at the beginning, like when Charles and Magneto go and visit her, and it's like, that looks plastic.
It
Yes.
looks plastic. They hadn't cracked CGI yet. It was just CG.
Oh,
at
it's
this
come a
point.
hell of a long way since then.
Oh,
when you look
100%.
at the fact that every MCU film that Michael Douglas has been in, they've made him look like de-aged
Ridiculous.
in different ways to different ages as well.
Yeah.
Because they're like, fuck it, let's make him look like the 70s after they did the little bit in Ant-Man, then did it for another bit in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then just in Endgame, he's just like, let's give him the mullet and just go for it.
Yeah.
Give him the mullet.
Yeah, it's not bad, it's not good. It's just
It's very in
Okay.
the middle. It's very
Mediocre
mixed.
at
Yeah.
best. Mediocre.
like Brett Radner does a good job-ish. I mean, he's a horrible person still, but stepping in to Brian saying, he went to do Superman Returns. How did that work out?
Yeah, look
It
at
came
that.
out the same year as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Look how that turned out.
And James Marsden was also in Superman Returns. That's why they kill him off in X-Men 3.
Wow.
Because he plays Perry White's son.
Damn.
I don't know. Don't
Yeah,
really
I've
care.
not seen Superman Returns.
No, neither will I.
You don't really need to. It's
No.
actually not that bad.
No.
Yeah. In some ways, it's better than Man of Steel.
Okay.
Because it actually feels like because it was meant to be like a sequel to Superman 2 instead of following. They ignore 3 and 4 and they're like, this is what happened after Superman 2. Enough about that twat. Let's talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine. I remember when this leaked online
I remember seeing it.
with unfinished effects.
Oh god.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I just remember seeing it in the cinema and seeing the game because cinemas sometimes
game's alright,
advertise games. The game is great. The game is one of the most. It's even to this day one of the most badass thing action slashes ever. Beat them ups, whatever you want to call it.
It had good potential, to do that story of his origin, but the thing that I don't like is in the titles. That's all the stuff I'd like to see him living through those wars. It's just a big montage to bring him up to
Well, exactly,
modern day-ish.
I wish they went more exploring into it because of montages, I think.
Yeah. You could have made a trilogy off of him going through the different eras and then ending up being found by the X-Men.
Yeah.
But they're just desperate to do no, and they'll do the
Cram it
Weapon
all
X.
into one film.
And you've got Angel, who's a kid in this, but then she's an adult in the 60s in first class, even though they're exactly the same character with the same name and same powers.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And
Oh,
Patrick
weird.
Stewart can walk, even though he's Patrick Stewart, but he can't walk when he's James McAvoy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
When they're
bizarre.
let's pump it out. But this was meant to be a series as well, wasn't it? They were going to do X-Men Origins Magneto, which they
Gambit as well. This is when Gambit.
This is when
was in
Gambit
discussion.
was started to
Yeah.
gain traction, wasn't it? Because Taylor Kitsch is all right as Gambit.
Yeah.
It's when they were trying to make Taylor Kitsch a thing, put him in Battleship, put him in this.
It just isn't the animated Gambit that
Yeah.
I know and love growing up.
But I think I still maintain that he's better than Channing Tatum would have been.
Yeah.
I don't think Channing Tatum was.
I
Do you remember when they brought him out on stage for like Days of Future Past? They're like, and Channing Tatum's going to play Gambit.
I
And
couldn't
like,
picture him.
Oh, no.
and like he was
No,
there with all the
100%
rest
not.
of the cast, and it's like
I just can't picture that.
never
No.
happened.
Uh,
I don't
Thank
even really
God.
remember the plot of Origins Wolverine. It's like there was
There was
Will.i.am was there.
there was a
oh, yeah.
there was the first Deadpool, and wasn't really the Deadpool.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Oh, that's the best
OG
thing.
Ryan Reynolds, this was. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is when he...
Pre
stepped
Green
into-
Lantern as well.
This is when he stepped into the scene, yeah.
Yeah.
He was Wade Wilson.
He
in
was
this.
born to play Wade Wilson. Like, and it's like, oh god, don't they ever shut you up? And then like the Joker's like, oh,
There's
they're
this
fine.
scene where he comes out the lift and he has them badass katana swords and he just...
Yeah.
Yes.
Which then they do that sort of
In Deadpool 2.
yeah,
didn't
they do a parody
Yeah.
of that scene. It's like, oh, the bullets are really fast. And he's just like got loads of holes in him. It's like that's what you should have done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fox.
The stupid thing they did at the end is they gave him power. They gave him like some powers, and I think that sort of was it energy powers or something at the end with Wade Wilson.
They
Like,
made,
what the hell?
They made him Cyclops, they made him...
He became Weapon 11, didn't he? The basis
yeah.
of Weapon 11. So he
Well, I
had
don't
he had
think
his katanas in his knuckles, but then he wouldn't have been able to bend his arm when they were inside him because they were longer
Yeah,
than his
exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
forearm.
I don't think Weapon 11 was even in the comics. I think that Abomination was literally for the film.
Yeah, it was.
Abomination was an Incredible Hulk.
Oh my God.
The only thing missing was green. He didn't turn green. That's the only
Yes.
Yeah, because he had Will.i.am's teleport powers, then he had Cyclops' eyes, and then they cut his head
Ooh,
off. But then he
yeah.
was alive at the end of Origins Wolverine.
He was.
There was.
Because like
The-
the post-credit scene is like him like finding his head, and it just goes shh, like he's
Oh, I forgot.
regenerating.
It was
forgot
so. It was such a mess of a film. I think.
That last act was a
Didn't
bit...
really, yeah, didn't really know what tone it was going for. It was like trying to be just generic blockbuster / tell an X-Men story,
Yeah.
while being a war film.
But then introduce all the spin-offy
his
characters that we want
girlfriend's
to do.
fake death.
Yeah, the weird girlfriend.
Yeah.
Something about the moon.
Who
Her
only
name.
exists to give him the story about the moon. She called it the Wolverine.
That was it. Yeah, there was a name for the moon, and she's like, and then it means the Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's like,
So that then when it's like, do you want new dog tags? Wolverine. It's like, oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was so.
Pointless,
Just
stupid.
corny.
And
but Liv Schreiber, is it? Is Sabretooth?
that's good. I like that,
He
yeah.
was cool. He
Mm.
was cool.
That was good.
I'm
I
more
would have liked it
human.
because he was meant to be in Logan.
He was.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen that, just sort of like them two old foes.
I think they could have more focused on. I think if they had a bit more of a better focus on that.
their
of that
story, yeah,
relationship,
because
that
you
would have been.
gloss over them as brothers, didn't you? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like montage of them just fighting, and then you just start to see him turn at the end of the montage, and then they sort of like lose him.
Yeah, and then he just turns up and
Yeah.
kidnaps the girl. And
I'm Charles Xavier. You're safe now. And then it ends.
Yeah.
It's like, ah. And then he loses his memory because he gets shot in the head.
Stryker's in it as well. Yeah, because it's adamantium bullet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but it takes him like 5 shots to do it, and then he just keeps shooting him in the head, and then he just has no memory. And he doesn't remember Gambit, and then they just all leave. And that's sort of it.
Yeah, because they have that awkward exchange. He's like, "Oh, where did they go?" And he's like, with the course, he's like, "Where did he go?" And then they walk off separately. And even Gambit's like, "Okay, dude, see ya."
Yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
never going to see you again.
Yeah, that it.
But we did get a good film after that.
One of the better ones.
2011's X-Men First Class.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love this one.
I do as well.
I loved from what I can remember of it.
Dun-dun.
I do.
It's so like simple and just so good.
It was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Political.
whole timeline thing falls apart after this one, but
Yeah.
we'll just gloss over that for now because
Yeah.
James McAvoy is great as a young Charles.
Oh, bloody
I
hell,
even
he
thought.
is.
I even think Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender's really good in it.
Yes.
As
And
Magneto.
them
So-
two together, you get it's like, oh yeah, you totally see that these are the younger versions of those characters. They
Yeah.
are
Embody them.
definitely
Embody.
100%. And Matthew Vaughn, like what he does, he just like from when the series was so low after Origins, he brings it
Back up.
back up, and it's like, wow, this is what X-Men could be. It feels very nostalgia driven by the period and the setting and
Everything.
It just worked, I think, so well. I think this is why I wish that Matthew Vaughn did like Days of Future Past. I think.
Do you want the lowdown on that trilogy? Because he was meant to do the whole trilogy.
Oh really?
Yeah, and he wanted Apocalypse to be second.
Second?
Yes, to deal with that, and then you have Days of Future Past conclude it, because by that point you've gotten to know all these characters, and
That
then
would have been better.
and then you
That would've
have
worked.
that would have
Dark
worked.
Phoenix come along later when you've actually got to know
Everyone.
these ones over greater.
That would have been
would've
better.
worked,
that would have
bloody
worked
hell.
so much better.
And he would have directed all three, and he would. But Fox got involved and said, "No, we want Days of Future Past now."
God's sake.
Oh.
And that's
God.
and that's when they brought Bryan Singer on, and
And that was their downfall.
yeah.
I didn't know that story. I didn't know.
I didn't know either. That's my first
I
time.
only knew
hearing
that recently because I've been watching Mr. Sunday Movies, Caravan of Garbage before Dark Phoenix. Like he said about that, and then talks about the Matthew Vaughn thing. It was just like that could have been so good.
Mm.
So good.
But it makes sense to have like the apocalypse and then have them go through that trauma and then do the Days of Future Past. Because whereas you jump from the 60s to then it's the end of the world like in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a better trilogy of doing it, going First Class, Apocalypse, 10 Days of Future Past. That would have been better.
And then if they did do Dark Phoenix, then you would have been more invested in these characters because you'd have known them longer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But I digress.
It wasn't meant to be.
No,
But
it wasn't.
it's got the best cameo from Hugh Jackman, First Class.
Oh yeah.
Eric Lensher, Charles Xavier, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go for
They
it.
just walk- and it's sort of it pokes fun at it, but it sort of makes sense because like if he'd have gone with him, it'd be like, hey, how come he goes with him in the 60s when they don't meet him till?
Well, exactly. Yeah, it would have been.
But it sort of like lines it up as like they knew of him, but it's just like he told them to go fuck themselves. The best use of an F-bomb in a movie.
Yes.
Yes.
So good.
He's just there and he's just like, and then they just leave. It's like, oh my god, it's just Wolverine hanging out in a bar.
He just said no.
yeah, he just doesn't want to be in the X-Men. It's great. Because at that point, he's still a very different character. It's like-
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
And the characters, you get Banshee, you get Angel, you get, who else? You get, Havoc.
Havoc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played well. And Lucas still gets sort of a bit short-shafted in ones after this. But, like, he's
Hellfire
really,
Club.
yeah.
Hellfire Club.
Hellfire, yeah, like a trend. Because you never really get the Brotherhood of Mutants.
No.
Nah.
You get, you get sort of see a bit of it in the first one. The second one, not so much, and then like it's alluded to more in the third one in the forest and that, but you never really see
Yeah.
because that's sort of a good side of Magneto, like leading his own sort of parallel to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I
never
love
comes to fruition.
Kevin Bacon is great as Shaw,
Yes.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Really good.
Good old Kevin Bacon.
and it sort of brings for that character development of when Magneto puts the coin through his head because of all the suffering he's done, and that's when you see him turn. It makes sense.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
moment where
100%.
Magneto becomes Magneto.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like he's been good the whole time, but he's still like, even when they're having that discussion, like I'm not going to stop him, I'm going to kill him because of everything he's done.
Yeah.
And then that turning point where he takes the helmet, puts the coin through him, and then takes half of them, and Charles gets paralysed because of Magneto, and that sort of sets up their fractious nature.
That was the
I love
beginning
First
of the
Class,
end.
yeah.
First Class is great.
And then they tease like a comic accurate Magneto costume just to ignore it in the next movie, which Fox then
Yep.
Yeah,
There you go.
I remember that.
which Fox
yeah.
then have a thing of doing because they do that in the Wolverine and in Apocalypse.
They
Apocalypse when they get all their comic accurate, where you get Cyclops with the big X on his figure, and then they're just like, oh, we'll just have generic ones.
Fox guys go, yeah, we're going to tease you it, then never happen.
Why are they so afraid of comic accurate costumes?
I think because they want to make it, I don't know.
And then
Maybe
Dark
they're thinking-
Knighty.
the original
Dark
taste,
Knighty.
The original.
They're probably being a bit like, oh, we don't want to look silly sort of thing, but it's like, yeah, but it's comic
Go silly.
accurate. Have you now seen the MCU? Look what he did.
The thing is,
They are in danger of like they'll either, if they go for it, they'll be accused of copying the MCU, and if they don't go for it, they're accused of not sort of like
Trying
trying
hard
to
enough.
adapt the
So
source
it's
material.
it was basically a no-win situation.
But
for
you'd
him.
go all out, and like sort of there'd be more appreciation if they had, you know, like that line in X-Men. It's like, what did you prefer, a yellow spandex? Yes,
yeah.
yes, please.
Yeah.
Like when he gets that costume at the end of the Wolverine, and you're like, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
Why give us a tease of it and then never use it? Like, why?
Yeah.
I like the training montage of him in the first version of the X Mansion.
Yes. That was pretty cool.
Mm.
I like the thing they did with Magneto and Charles, where like they moved the set like this.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty like the way he actually eventually moved it. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool.
because he'd always used his anger, and it's like the
Yeah.
point between rage and serenity, and then he
Yeah.
finds his memory, and then they're both crying, and then like he like twists the satellite, and he like sort of makes, by accident, Charles makes Magneto stronger.
Yeah.
Mm.
The only thing that's not good about this set of films is, apart from the timeline and the writing, is Raven. She's then
All over
retconned
the
into a
place.
good, Mystique's then retconned into a good guy.
Yeah.
She is, and Mystique's never really been a goodie.
They kind of, I think they.
Plus, Jennifer Lawrence cares about it less as it goes on.
Yes.
She doesn't. Yeah. She really don't.
You could tell in the lines after First Class, she did not want to be in it.
Yeah, because then like instead of makeup, then it became a bodysuit that they edited the thing out of, and then she's Jennifer Lawrence for a lot of Apocalypse, and then she's barely in Dark Phoenix because spoilers from the trailers, even though they basically show it.
She dies.
Yeah.
And then even that makeup's different because she just has a few prosthetics on her head.
Yeah.
And then painted blue, and it's just that in her hands. It's like so lazy.
I think they could.
She's collecting a paycheck in that one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The Wolverine, 2013.
That's the only movie I've not seen all of.
I've seen bits of.
Yeah,
I haven't
I've
seen
not seen all of it.
I've seen the end.
terrible.
I've seen the ending and all that, but that's about it.
Not terrible.
No,
Right.
it's not. It's much better than in X-Men Origins. Wolverine.
I think
I
it
think.
suffers from being bland.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like, it's not good or bad. It's just, and that's what makes it so forgettable. Is the fact that it just,
Because it's him in Japan, isn't it?
yeah, set after X-Men 3, and he keeps having visions of Jean.
Oh,
Like,
right.
and he wants to join her. He wants to die.
Oh.
And
Oh.
that's it. Gets like, I can take your immortality away from you, and then like there's Silver Samurai, but it's a robot with the man who's sucking the life force out of Wolverine, and then he has bone claws again because they cut off his adamantium claws, but then he has his adamantium claws by Dark Days of Future Past. So it's like
God knows.
I don't even know anymore.
No.
Oh,
But-
sod it.
It just suffers from just being unmemorable. I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only. Because Hugh Jackman just acts his arse off.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word, in every occasion.
He don't disappoint.
No.
I know, like
Far from
there is not a bad performance of him as
No.
Wolverine. It's just
That's why he's Wolverine forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
In some people's eyes.
Yeah.
he's like the definitive. This Bullet Train and Silver Samurai fight, that's the only sort of like things, and then you see him like full powers in the samurai bit when he's like getting slashed and just healing. It's like
I like the bit of the
Classic
part of
Wolverine.
with the nuke scene, like during Second World War, where he was
when he
protecting that.
saves him.
Yeah, when he saves him. I thought that was pretty cool.
burns off and then he just it just grows all back.
Yeah,
It's like,
I thought that was pretty cool.
and a good sort of like follow up ish to where he was after or during like Origins, because I like that sort of just is like as a standalone adventure that sort of just works.
That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot to say because it's like it's there,
It's
Yeah.
there.
it happened,
It
get
happened,
over it.
It's gone.
Isn't it based on his solo series?
Yeah, I
think?
believe so.
Yeah.
His
I
first
think it is. Yeah.
volume solo
I
series.
haven't really delved into a lot of solo Wolverine, but I know it's sort of like of that thing.
era.
And he is basically a samurai, really, isn't he? He's
Mm.
like on his own, sort of, and then gets the ultimate payoff in Logan. So good.
Yes.
Oh.
Days of Future
Logan.
Past
Days of Future Past.
starts the decade hopping gimmick that we're still on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 1975 in this one.
75
or 74. It's something like that.
I want to say.
I think I know the year is like just around the Cold War. I think. No, around the Vietnam War. I think.
60s. That's even 60s.
60s.
Yes, because it was 62 for First Class.
Yes. Because I think it was doing about Vietnam. Vietnam was about the 70s.
Yeah, because Havoc's in the army with the Vietnam War
Yes.
with Toad and someone else.
Yeah.
Because they put the trailer for this at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, didn't they? And it was like,
Yeah.
I was
Was that
like,
in the
what?
year 2023? 1973.
Oh yeah, so 2 years off of Jean being born. That's the only reason there's 75 is in my head because that's when they flash back in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dark
yeah, of
Phoenix.
course. Yes. Yeah.
Even this like, oh god, this is when it's not really making any sense because Quicksilver's in it and is instantly one of the best. That is the best scene.
Oh,
It is.
100%.
I was waiting for that scene in Dark Phoenix, and all we got was a little.
Time in a bottle.
You saw it in the trailer as well, didn't you? A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh god, we'll get to how much they fucking shit all over Quicksilver in a minute. But my god.
Yep.
And like they realise, oh, Quicksilver's too powerful. So what we got to do? Like that's the whole sort of thing with every Quicksilver
Thing.
sort of thing. It's like they realise he's too powerful, so they have to sort of like take him out of the equation in one
Yeah.
way or another,
Yeah.
which they do horribly in Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
Like with this, they're
completely.
like they just give him the car. But I like the future aspects and where like you get them moments with the original cast and like you get them all dying before it like turns back and that you get. I like the Terminator style element of Wolverine back in his younger body, but with his older mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what they
Personal
actually had him with
zeal.
the bone, with his bone claws as well, not the adamantium.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I thought,
'Cause-
oh, interesting.
When does he get taken for Weapon X? It's like 83 or something like
I think
that.
it's something 83, like, yeah.
Or in whatever version of the timeline we're in now.
Yeah. Timeline's so confusing.
McAvoy or Stewart. These timelines are so confusing. Yeah, for Days of Future Past, Kitty Pryde sending him back in time though, because Kitty Pryde was the one that went back in the comic, I believe.
Yeah, it is her.
Yeah.
But I don't get how her phasing powers. Maybe she can phase people through time because it's amplified some way, but that's never really explained.
Been explained. No.
Nah.
You get full-bodied, like
Not even in the comics.
Iceman, like actual Iceman, full power,
Bam.
and then he gets killed off, but then brought back, which we hadn't really seen since when he headbutts Pyro at the end of Last Stand.
Yeah.
Never should have left.
Days of Future Past is a very sort of. I don't know. It's
feels like the end.
yeah.
It does. Particularly with the whole, they're all dying, they're trapped in a thing. It's quite tense. Oh look, we'll have to
Terminator style
have to
thing.
go in the back.
Yeah,
like it is the end.
Yeah.
You'll have to find me too.
In a way, this is what they could have been building up to. Instead of Dark Phoenix, let this be the last.
Oh, Days of Future Past could easily have
Been
been,
the last one.
Yeah.
or
Would have
Logan
been
should have
better.
just been the last one because
Logan
Logan
should
is
have been
post-apocalyptic.
Logan should have been the last one.
Yeah.
You get the beautiful moment between McAvoy and Stewart when they're acting off each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty.
That's really
cool.
good.
That was cool.
You have to show them there's a better way, and that sort of explains sort of why he is like he is,
The
and then
transition.
it erases all the shit from yeah. It erases what happened in Last Stand. It erases Origins. You get that scene, like we said at the end, where he comes back and it's like everyone's alive again, and it's like we've got a lot to catch up on. Which I think is it 20? What year is it meant to be in the
2023. I've
Yeah.
Googled it. 2023.
MCU year? That's where we are,
It
yes.
is.
It
It is
And then
big.
Logan's
It was planned all along.
is Logan
Yes.
2029? It's like not long. It's long enough after the end credit scene of that for
Yeah.
shit to have gone down, but not so long that
I think it's 2029. I'm not sure.
something like that. I don't think it's 20. I don't think it's in the 2030s.
It is.
Yeah, but yeah, for a film that exists to fix.
2029.
What a guess.
Damn.
For a film that
2029.
exists.
Yours is good. This
Oh,
one.
mate, this is. I need to start getting paid for this. For a film that solely exists to fix the timeline, it does the job. It's enjoyable. You get like the moments of the young cast and the older cast. You get the struggle with him having his power, so he uses the serum, like because then he like wants to use his legs and doesn't have his mind powers, but then gets back to that. Hank becomes like a Hulk version of the Beast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
Not
then
really
like
the
really sort of takes effect in Dark Phoenix, where he just transforms at will now. So that's like.
Oh, just like that, yeah. That's what I
But,
thought. He was a blue
people
Hulk.
have said that maybe that's like he has the serum. He had the serum so much that he becomes impervious to it. So then it like starts changing at will, and then he just fully becomes Kelsey Grammer Beast. That's why he doesn't change back.
I guess. Yeah.
There's wiggle room, but you know we don't care.
Yeah.
Series is done.
Exactly. It's
gone.
It's fan fiction
So-
for a pointless subject for a pointless franchise because it's now over.
Yes.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix. Not Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix wasn't good. Days of Future Past. Yeah, good.
It was alright. I think it was
Not the best.
Wasn't the best, but it was okay.
Wasn't the worst.
It wasn't
Middle,
the worst.
middle to high.
I just remember having fun with that one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
was-
was sort of, it was sort of like it felt like a comment like like the trilogy I liked and then the new one sort of
It done that really well with that. I think
Mm.
that whole sort of mixing, having the dope cast, the young and old.
Mm.
I think for the fans, it was brilliant. And I thought,
It's good fan service.
yes, 100%,
100%.
100%.
What about 2016's Deadpool?
Oh, well, I thought Deadpool Apocalypse for a second. We say Deadpool Apocalypse. Like what?
What?
A film that
The age of
took
Deadpool.
so long for us to get. Like Ryan Reynolds had to leak it.
Well, yeah.
I love that leak footage and the fact that they basically remake it in Deadpool.
I remember seeing that leak footage for the first time, thinking, please make this a movie, and then they actually do it, and then do it in the movie. I was like, yes.
Oh my god.
Deadpool was amazing. I think was
Corinthian leather.
the
I know, right?
I just love they went R-rated, the R-rated for this.
Oh,
and it
you
was,
had to, didn't you?
you
Oh,
had
yeah,
to
no
Deadpool,
doubt.
and it was I thought it was brilliant. It was a standard superhero story,
Oh,
origin
yeah.
story,
Yeah.
but because it was Deadpool,
You just let it.
let it roll, and
It
was
works with him being meta as well. With him,
Yes.
like whose balls did I have to follow to get my own movie? I won't tell you, but his name rhymes with Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I love the amount of Hugh Jackman jokes when he even when he gets unmasked at the end and he's got the magazine cut out of Hugh Jackman's
Yes.
face stapled to him.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I also have to remove this mask. It's a very simple, like sort of like story. Like it's very small scale.
Feels like back to the 2000 era, kind of on paper.
Yeah,
in terms of story.
and it's an origin story with a twist because like he starts off on the bridge and then he's narrating it himself while talking to the audience.
I even just love with the opening credits where they don't even go like written by. I think they just go all different names.
Yeah, like
this
starring
person.
God's Gift.
Yeah.
Written by the real heroes here.
It was so good.
Directed by some overpaid schmuck.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love when they do that again in Deadpool 2 because it's like a reaction to when they've killed off his girlfriend and he's thrown the guy in front of the bus and it's like a James Bond opening. Like I love. And it's written by the guy that killed John Wick's dog.
Oh, is that in there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then it starts off with like, wait, what? Are we not going to talk about the fact that she's dead? Like, did they seriously just kill her? Oh, but Ryan Reynolds was born, like we've said, he was
Ryan
born
Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, 100%.
No one else that can be Deadpool.
Fan-bloody-tastic.
Oh, no.
Such a good film.
Definitely.
Entertaining as hell.
McAvoy, Stewart, timelines are so confusing. Colossus recast, but it works because it's closer to him in the
Yeah.
comics.
Better. Yeah.
Makes more of a link to his relationship with Kitty Pryde.
Yep.
It does.
Your poor wife. When he breaks both his hands, he just goes, "Oh, the dinosaurs feared the T-Rex."
Oh,
He's
it
just
was
going
so
like that.
good.
Or when he cuts off his own hand. That is such an unappreciated thing. If you haven't seen 127 Hours, spoiler alert! Cuts off his own hand, goes, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret," and then just like flicks him off as he like cuts his hand off.
It's so you can't really give fault for the movie. It was so just. It was such the entertainment.
It was an experience.
Negasonic, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead is so.
Oh my god,
she was brilliant. She was
She was fantastic.
Their relationship, they're bouncing off of each other. Great.
I love even when he actually goes to the X-Mansion and he's just like,
where are all the other characters?
It's almost like the studio can afford another X-Men.
Exactly. It's like, yeah.
Which I like when they sort of play on that again.
I love
too.
It's so
You think the studio will throw us a fucking bone, and then they're just all in there, and then they just close the door.
Yeah, it was just the breaking the fourth wall was what Deadpool is, and it's like that just added something different for it.
It is a new level, and
the weird thing I feel with the Deadpool films is like even though it has the X-Men in it, it don't feel like it's part of the X-Men film.
I really don't.
It feels very adjacent,
It feels very adjacent to it, 100%.
But then that sort of works for his comic as well, where he's sort of very much an independent force.
Yeah,
like he works in a completely different way.
And even if he's killed,
it's just so well done. The jokes land. It's just like, it's just hilarious now.
Yeah.
Oh, did we watch
but
it?
Another film in 2016 that they did.
And this was an apocalypse, folks.
No.
This was X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, a little.
Oh, it's so boring and so.
Oh
and then
God!
Welcome to the 80s.
Oh, yeah,
Why are we?
80s?
So it's like you're in the 80s and James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender look exactly the same as they did in the 60s. Are we not gonna?
Yeah.
It gets worse because
Where's the Deadpool cameo addressing that?
in Dark Phoenix, Magneto's 62.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because he's born in 1930.
And he don't look no different.
Yeah, and he'd look like because I saw
They could have made him older.
Not even a grey hair or nothing.
Have you seen the Screen Rant's pitch meeting videos? You know where they go like, "Oh, I got a story for you," and like they proper take the piss out of it. It's like,
yeah.
They're like, so should we get He's 62, so so what? Are we gonna get a Fassbender or are we gonna get McKellen? Like, we'll get Fassbender because he's 42, and that's basically 62 when you round it up twice.
Oh my God!
If you round it up twice.
Because it just doesn't look anything.
Oh, it was such a boring film.
Apocalypse, brilliant.
No.
Nah.
Nope.
Said no one ever.
Yep.
Best film of the franchise, hands down.
You get Jean, you get Scott finally comes into it because Havoc brings him, and then Havoc dies, and you get the weird Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse thing.
Is this when Nightcrawler's in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nightcrawler by
Cody
Schmidt McPhee.
I think so.
I think.
I don't know.
I want to say yes,
If I
but
butchered his name, I apologise.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
He looks like an Alan Cumming younger. Like he could potentially be the younger version of Alan Cumming's character, which is the greatest regret is that he wasn't. That he never came back.
He never got the chance.
Nah.
Such a good personification of Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
And then you get Quicksilver looking for his dad. Gets his other scene with the music again.
Yeah.
I thought that was still pretty good though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
The thing is, I think
There's
after Days
moonwalking.
of Future Past, whenever you knew Quicksilver was going to be, they're going to have a scene like it.
Oh, not in Dark Phoenix, my friend. Not in Dark
dear.
Phoenix.
And that was one of the few things I was looking forward to as well.
Yeah, he saves it and he goes, oh wait, and then like, oh, Havoc's dead, and then because they all look up to you, Mystique, for some reason, and Angel's a cage fighter in Germany, and
yeah.
Apocalypse gets awakened and has 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse,
which is the
which
Age
he
of
imbues with
Apocalypse
powers.
comic arc.
Yeah. Moira McTaggart's back, even though her memory was wiped in First Class, and she was actually British in the Last Stand.
Yeah.
But now she has a kid, and Charles still fancies her.
The amount of this is where they really make the timeline even worse.
Which wasn't possible, but
it was.
It
really was.
Oh my god! But there obviously the Charles Magneto thing is still, and because the thing they don't really address is like he went off after the whole, trying to kill the president, like, and having Mystique stop him, and like making a difference to the mutants. Like he goes, lives in isolation, saves that guy's life, but then his daughter and his wife die. And that's sort of like never alluded to again in that film or in any other film.
They sort of just brush over it after that.
He never finds out that Quicksilver's his son.
Yeah.
No. No.
Like,
you gonna tell him? No, I'll wait. Why?
Just tell him. Like, why just...
I'll wait.
Yeah, and they take him out. They take Quicksilver out in this one by breaking his leg.
Yes.
So because he gets trapped in something, and then doesn't Apocalypse just like snap his leg or something?
I think
and they all just fire beams at him until he dies.
I'm glad I didn't rewatch none of these films now.
Apocalypse gets disintegrated by everyone shooting beams at him, and then he's having a mind fight with Professor X, and then Jean comes in. He goes, "Unleash your power!" And she goes like that and has the Phoenix outline around her, which we find out she didn't have the Phoenix powers in Apocalypse. Even though
it clearly
she
was a
did.
sign. It was a
sign. That was clearly just more to tease Dark Phoenix. That was the only reason they did it. That was the only reason they did it.
And the fact that Bryan Singer has a joke about like literally aimed at X-Men 3 when they come out of seeing Return of the Jedi. Well, at least we can all agree the third one's always the worst. It's like your film is the third one,
and it's bad,
and it is the worst in that trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh god! And it's literally to be like a big fuck you, like you made a really bad X-Men movie without me. It's like, yeah, but you pissed off to make Superman, and then you've made a really bad Superman X-Men movie anyway.
I feel like this is more of a bad rant than DC. I thought we were pretty hard on DC last week, but I mean, we've gone savage with X-Men.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you have to. It's the only way.
It just shows that we put that we're more MCU than X-Men, and they're both Marvel.
Yeah,
we need like a good 4.
We need a Civil War.
We need like 4 years. Oh, they were going to do that.
We need a Civil
X-Men,
War.
They were going to do their own version of the Civil War.
When they're going to do that with the Fantastic Four, is that wasn't it, or something?
What they were going to do is have. Really? There was a script going around that they were going to have a team up with the X-Men, the Fantastic Four.
Wait, you're actually serious?
Deadpool, Daredevil, all those at the time that they had. They were going to do like a version of Civil War where Johnny Storm has like an accident that like literally starts off the Superhero Registration Act.
Because that's what happens to Pyro in the Civil War. Oh, okay.
They were going to have like that and then have them all linked in, and there was a script that went round for a while of them doing it, and they never made it. Because they weren't brave enough. But at that point, Fox were more popular than Marvel Studios, so they could have conceivably done it, and then maybe started some.
That would have been interesting. I never knew that, but all right.
Yeah, it's the fact that you get that Apocalypse teaser at the end of Days of Future Past, like we're building the pyramid, and then it ends, and then like you just get a completely different. Like Oscar Isaac had a miserable time making this movie, and it shows. It's just underused and then
it just isn't Apocalypse.
They're like, oh, what do we do now? He's bald. James McAvoy's bald because got to make it line up.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the line up, folks.
And then Magneto's sort of good again, like when they're like goodbye, old friend, and like after they rebuild the school after it blew up.
Yep.
Using their magic, and it's like, what the fuck?
What this movie was is a mess.
But Logan.
Oh yes,
the best one.
This might be this is an argument for this being my favourite X-Men film because it culminates that story. And
Hugh Jackman
and Patrick Stewart are so good. Like seeing him degenerate into like an old man who can't control his powers and causes seizures.
Seeing Patrick Stewart vulnerable.
Magic Johnson.
Patrick Johnson. Seeing Patrick Stewart vulnerable as well, and not be the wise old Professor X figure.
I just loved that they got him swearing in it as well. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it made it feel more authentic.
Yes, it did.
I haven't needed. I'm fucking 90.
I'm fucking 90.
It was so
fucking
brilliant.
90. Yeah, and it's like it alludes to like Wolverine was the reason, because they do that from the comics, like where like because Wolverine gets tricked by Mr. Sinister, that the X-Men are like decoys, and he like kills them all and then realizes that I actually just killed it. But what did you do, Logan? What did you do? And it was Charles that did it, but he's not telling Charles because he doesn't want to upset him. And it's like, oh my god,
savage.
Yep.
Magneto was going to be in it because you were going to have that payoff with like their character as well, but he just like. It's still perfect without him. And
it's fine. Yeah,
it could have just like it would have been just like a nice little nut like
icing
thing, just
on the
like
cake, just
a little bow on top, just the title together,
Yeah.
and having Liv Schreiber would have been great. But
that would have been cooler.
Stephen Merchant as what's his character's name?
Oh God, yeah.
I'm trying because he's in Apocalypse as well. Like, it's a different actor, and I'm
Yeah.
because he goes and he's really like is a really crap version. Because Psylocke's in fucking Apocalypse, and it's like she's like a daughter of Magneto, but he doesn't know that either.
Caliban, that's it.
Yes, Caliban.
I love their dynamic. Just when he smashes the thing and like Caliban just goes, "That was my favourite mug."
Yeah, that was my favourite.
I think they did really well with the casting, and obviously beside Hugh
It's
Jackman.
not a big cast,
Paxton.
really, is it?
Yeah, but no, it's not a massive cast. It was
Daphne Keane as well. She's great.
Oh, she was brilliant.
Laura.
I love they even got her speaking. Was it Spanish or something? Was it?
At one point.
At one point, I was just like, "What?"
Yeah, that works.
It does work, 100%.
What's the reason? There's like how many characters? 1,
2,
3,
4, 5,
6.
6 characters.
Yeah, because then you've
6
got
main characters.
and then you've got like the New Mutants gang, like with the weird, like when they have that weird cult thing where they just kill. Because the villain is really good as well. Because he was in the Predator.
Donald.
Yeah, something like that. I
Say
know.
Donald Pierce.
That sounds.
That's a random name.
That
Donald-
sounds.
I
Sounds
just had
familiar.
the- I just
Because
had the
Richard E.
villain.
Grant's in it, and then like he
just
gets
had the
killed off.
villain.
That's
Yeah.
wicked. When like he's having that talk, and then Wolverine just shoots him.
I just
It's
love.
Donald Pierce. Well, not Richard E. Grant, but Donald Pierce.
Oh yeah, Boyd Holbrook.
And Dr. Xander Rice is Richard E. Grant.
I will say that I love that they actually made it R-rated as well. Like, because
It made such a difference.
yes.
Because when you start,
It made it also. I think it also made it so gritty, but also I think I love the Berserker part where he's just like
when he does that raw.
and
And then-
he's just running and slicing every one of them. I was like, now that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, because like you see,
That's
because there's that
Wolverine.
clip in there when Hugh Jackman's recording the ADR for that
Yeah.
scene, and like it's so and he's just giving it the whole.
It just shows how much dedication he gave to that role.
Yeah, and
No
it
matter
sort
what
of was
film.
the perfect way to round it out. And James Mangold does a great job with the story.
Oh,
and
100%.
directing it. And like the fact that he did the Wolverine and then did this, like they're two completely different things.
I love that it was kind of like a superhero western sort of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it felt like a western, yeah.
I liked
Even
it.
when he's watching that film in the hotel and like
Yeah.
that Vegas scene with the building with him like crawling towards Professor X and then,
Yeah.
like stabbing people through the head. It was like
That was so good.
brilliant, so well done.
That was a good time.
I mean, the only regret is we're never going to get a Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds like crossover, which he said he would be up for, but it's like nah, he's done.
I
It's
think
not
he's done
happening.
now.
Yeah.
I think he's done
But
his
he
time.
did say
probably.
years ago that's like if he was ever in the MCU, I want to come back and fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
That would be
magical. But
that would be amazing. But
he's in his
how
50s
could
now.
they
He's not
do
going to
it?
want to start getting back in shape. He's
How could
enjoying
they
eating.
do it. He's enjoying eating.
Well, yeah, because like especially it gets harder to get in shape
Oh, yeah,
as you
yeah,
get
yeah,
older as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
So when
yeah,
he
yeah,
goes off,
yeah.
does another film, and then he's got to start training for X-Men.
yeah. How old is Hugh Jackman?
I want to guess.
I'll say about 50.
I want to say 52.
50. I'm gonna say 53.
What are you going to say, Connor? 51?
48.
Okay, oh. It's around that sort of ballpark, isn't he? Like
48,
late 40s, early 50s.
50.
50.
He's 50.
Ooh.
He's 50. Wow.
But he's told every story he's needed to, and
Yeah.
I like how it just sort of rounds out everything that he did, like from beginning to end, ties everything together, and like you see him, like, oh, so this is what it feels like, and then like that's so sad,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's sort of
It was a very sad moment when he died. I was like, oh.
with the prophecy as well,
Yeah.
like because you sort of get that prophecy in the Wolverine. It's like you're gonna die with your own heart in your hands, which is sort of true when
With
he's got
the-
his
the
daughter
girl. Yeah.
holding his hand.
Yeah.
And it sort of like very much signifies the end of this generation as X-Men as we know it, which
Yeah.
is why it would have been a good end to this version of the franchise.
I just think it.
But they just didn't.
I just think Logan is a superhero film anyway. It's changed.
It doesn't even feel like it. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't even feel like a superhero film.
Because Wolverine in this film isn't a hero. He's like an outlaw. He wants to be.
That's what I liked about it. I think it even felt like, obviously, it was a smaller. Like, I feel like it was a smaller film, like more almost near indie sort of.
Oh yeah, definitely. Have you watched the noir version in black and white?
I haven't, but I have got it.
That is It really is. It makes such a difference to that film. I love it. It's just you get these gems in the series that's showered in shit. And it's
you do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think they're strong enough to stand out on their own.
Oh yeah,
like, in a way,
it does feel like
the awkward thing. If Logan was cast by a different actor to be Wolverine, I wouldn't count as part of the X-Men. I'd be like, it's his own film.
Yeah,
because it's obviously
it's very isolated.
In that series, you kind of need to know the X-Men series to get behind Logan in Logan.
Yeah,
you need to know
and it's like the Tony Stark thing, the emotional investment in the series.
Yeah,
and you get to that point with him.
Yeah, you need to know the entire run that he's gone through to get behind him.
Fully magical.
100%.
Absolutely magic. What are we on to? So Deadpool 2.
Yes. I wanted to say better than the first one, but then I haven't seen it since it came out. So
I think it is better by a tiny bit, not by much, but it was
a different director.
It was different. I think it was actually one of the guys who did John Wick as well.
Yeah, the guy who done the John Wick.
Was it David Leitch or something?
David Leitch.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought the action was much better. So it was a lot more better in it. I thought the comedy, I think even the goriness was even more extreme, but it worked. I love the part where the Juggernaut comes into it.
Yeah.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And he just rips it apart. I was just like, I just love where
when he's listing off like X-Men comics, 52, Uncanny X-Men. They say never meet you. That's such a Juggernaut thing to say, and he just rips him in half.
I just love the part where after he's obviously been cut in half and all that, and he's actually carrying just half of him.
Yeah.
on the back of him, and it was. But the cable part was interesting with that, I thought.
What does he have that I don't? And don't say legs. Legs. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Deadpool 2 is cable.
Because we were really worried about like Tim Miller not like parting ways with Ryan Reynolds because it was a creative thing. It was like, oh, maybe this is in trouble, but it just still comes out like so well. And
Yeah.
And I like how it bigs up like setting up the X-Force like in the trailers, and then they just all die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And even that little Brad Pitt cameo.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
That was very
Invisible Man.
Yeah.
He's not here, is he? He might be running late. Like that whole gag's wicked, and then you just see him get electrocuted, and it's Brad Pitt, and it's like, oh my god, and like Terry Crews, all them people. There's only one thing we can agree: Shatterstar, bit of a dick. Come from Mojo World. Like they went full on into that he was an alien. It was like, oh, it's so faithful. Just the only like T.J. Miller being a bit of an arse,
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
then they sort of edited him out a bit of that.
Yeah,
really.
it did.
Because he was like really good.
There was something, I don't know what it was he did. He did something really bad.
I think it was sexual assault allegations.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard about that. I was thinking,
No, there
definitely
really
not.
Is.
There isn't.
No.
We should know. No. Yeah,
Okay.
and Josh Brolin is great as Cable. Like, he's very much the straight man to Deadpool. It's like my favourite line in this whole film is like that whole sequence where it's at near the end and they're trying to save Russell because it's like a simple story, like trying to get the child to not kill anyone.
Yeah.
And it's when they're trying to get Russell. It's like, no, you got 30 seconds, like, and or whatever. And he's like, oh, can you give me one of them guns? And all them people come out. Like, it's like, no. He goes, no, I'll just use this brick. And then like beats him up, like
Just use this brick.
and then like when they kill him, and he goes, only best friends kill pedophiles together.
Jesus Christ.
I love that.
I need to rewatch it.
Oh, it's just Ryan Reynolds. It's like, have one of those guns? No. I'll just
use this brick.
I'll just use this brick.
I also felt as well it was more emotional as well.
Oh yeah, because
of the whole Russell.
With the whole...
Oh, I hope the Academy's watching. That's hard. I just it's just so hard to go. It's just, just swear for me.
You know what I thought? I thought was really funny as well at the end of the film with the whole time count part, and he goes to all the old parts, including X-Men Origins Wolverine, where he calls
just clearing up the timeline.
He goes back, yeah,
and even shoots like Robert like himself as well, like reading the script. And I was just like,
oh, that when we was reading the Green Lantern script, because I saw that in cinema with Matt, and we both just pissed ourselves off. It's like, you made it, kid, the big time. It's just, you're welcome, Canada.
It was so. It was so.
We're definitely naming our kid Cher.
And it was obviously.
Turn back time. No. And Cher singing the like. Was it Cher? Or was it what's her face? Who's the woman that sings Titanic? It was her, wasn't it?
Oh, I think about
Celine Dion.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah, she sung the titles. Which was
I actually thought that was a
He's like, oh, I always loved Celine Dion.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually did like that song as well. Not gonna lie.
Because when they released the music, it's like, how's that gonna fit? And it's like, oh, it's like a Bond theme. And then like when it's all just the edited Deadpool's like being sexy.
You know what I thought was the funniest part was the shot where he's on the chair and he's like flipped like that and you can see the rain of bullets just run over.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like it was brilliant.
Oh, I love that. The thing at the beginning where he's talking to because he's got a gold card and it's like, I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce that. It's like, all I know is Donde está una biblioteca, which means I don't bargain, pumpkin fucker. And then, like, when he dives through and when he's counting, he goes, uno, dos, tres, and they just start shooting him. Shh. Like, and he's like, asks for the drink. It's like, I know it's called a thingy breeze, but don't make me say it. And then, like, Dolly, hit the music. And then it's like shooting him while doing 9 to 5, and he gets the blood in his eyes. Like, cut, I got bag, I got bag, straight in my eye.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember that.
When he washes and then he dries his face on the towel, and it's just like one of the guys in the sauna, and like he just sees the crotch, and he just goes, Scoutmaster Kevin.
Scoutmaster Kevin.
The comedy I think was even better on this one than the first
No,
one.
It sounds funny.
Deadpool in heels with the wig.
Oh yes,
yes.
yeah, I remember that. Yes.
I remember that.
Deadpool in the wig.
Because Deadpool 2, above all, is a family film.
It was funny. I love.
It was an experience again.
It was another great experience.
And the fact is that it came like after Infinity War, so it literally was like a party that came a week after a funeral. Like it was just like, and it just lifted the mood.
That is the best way.
That was the best way.
That's
one way to lighten the
The
mood.
hate breaks Thanos.
It was just the references as well just helped with it. It was just brilliant.
I think they'd throw us a bone. I'll give you a clue. It's on my head and it smells like Patrick Stewart.
God.
Oh God.
I'm not ready to be. When he's just going around the mansion in the chairs, like I'm not ready to be touched again. All these rich white men on the walls didn't bring my rape whistle.
Oh God.
Oh, and he's like, just like so much, because you wonder how much of it is just Ryan Reynolds improv.
Oh yeah.
It would surprise me with most of it.
Oh yeah, like he's just got so much
80%
stuff that
of
he's
it.
just like it's just in his head and he just comes up with it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the cameo when it's just like, I think the studio would throw us a bone and they just close the door.
I absolutely was just like,
that scene, I
what?
lost it.
I was like, no, they actually got him in it as well.
Because it had like, it was Beast, Quicksilver, Cyclops, Professor X. Were they the only ones in that room?
That's what there was more as well.
Oh,
Maybe Jean.
Maybe Jean.
Jean,
let me in. Is the best part about X-Men: The Last Stand. Jean.
Let me in.
There we go.
Brilliant. Love that film. And should we get on to
Where
where we are now?
The Titanic of the franchise.
The end.
The Titanic catastrophe. Crush.
The mess.
Dark Phoenix.
2.0.
Wow. If you haven't seen Dark Phoenix, you've basically seen it because of the trailers.
Yep.
The bit because it got leaked early, like a year or so before, about someone who saw an advanced screening, and it literally does not sound like they changed a lot from that screening to where it was.
I read today though the original ending was supposed to involve scrolls.
I heard that as well. I heard
Yeah,
something involving the scrolls.
Yeah, because they rewrote it because it was like Captain Marvel was meant to like end in space like that, but also because of Civil War they were going for that sort of vibe as well, weren't they?
I think what didn't help with Dark Phoenix either was the whole. I think even the Disney Fox acquisition didn't help with it either. I think it had so many problems they had to deal with.
It had problems in it, but then it was sort of done before the merger finished. So
it's a weird one, and I think what also as well the guy who directed Simon Kinberg, who's produced all the X-Men films, and it was his directorial debut. So
I think we got to get this done. Simon, you just do it because you. like these
I think that
characters.
was it. It was just.
I don't think he's a great. I think it shouldn't stop him from directing because
No.
I think he's got a good eye for those like sort of shots and the conversations and that was sort of staged in a way.
They worked. Yeah.
Like the smaller moments were the better parts of it.
They were.
And
they were.
It shouldn't like stop him from pursuing a career as a director because I think he can do it. I just think that there was too much. There was too much riding on it, but then there was not enough. There's a lot of baggage because like it had to end because.
They knew this was going to be the last one because of the buyout.
Yeah, by the time the buyout, it's like, well, it's not going to. So you
continue.
just So you're giving it your all and setting up threads that aren't going to be paid off, and you sort of have to.
I think they said that's why there was a massive amount of reshoots for it was because of that.
Yeah, that sort of end it in a way where it's like
It's
it could have carried on, but like this is.
I think the trailer is like I saw the first 2 trailers and I thought, oh, this could be right, and I saw the final trailer and I went, oh, okay, now I'm right. Now I'm like, oh, here we go.
The Dabari are like a version of the Skrulls, like shapeshifting, but they are in the comics as the aliens that get their homeworld gets destroyed by the Phoenix Force. So that sort of element was
I literally just looked at them and thought, who are you? Because I was in the midst of reading the Dark Phoenix Saga, and there weren't no freaking tree aliens that come out of the tree.
No.
It was just like, what? Who are you?
They gave them a lot of the Skrulls' powers because obviously Skrulls exist in that grey area between Marvel and Fox, which that whole area no longer exists. But
that was like similar. That's similar with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, wasn't it, as well?
Because they were mainly Avengers characters because of that, but they were children of Magneto.
Yeah.
So they were allowed to be in X-Men but not mention the Avengers, and be in the Avengers but not be mentioned like their parentage. It's the same with the Skrulls as well because they were sort of Fantastic Four villains as well, sort of weren't they, like in that sort of area, but.
Yeah,
I don't think making them the Skrulls would have made a difference because they're just like Jessica Chastain was so badly written.
She was.
Especially for an actress like her.
And they waste her on a shapeshifting alien that doesn't really have any character to her.
Yeah.
Nope.
Margaret the alien.
Margaret the alien.
Is that because she comes back to Japan? Margaret, and then she just kills them all with her concave chest powers, like she crushes all their chests. And then she's like, oh, we got to look for so the Phoenix Force is a cloud that looked like Galactus from Rise of Silver.
Yeah.
Why?
It's the sister of Galactus.
Why does Fox seem to like when they have like?
They love clouds.
They love clouds for some reason when it comes to cosmic forces
And smoke.
They seem to love it
a
so
good
much.
nimbus. Helionimbus.
The thing is like that's why in the comics it's like it's an actual glowing Phoenix Force. It's not some giant cosmic cloud. Come on.
It's like it's a.
Didn't you not learn from the second Fantastic Four? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So the Phoenix Force was never in Jean.
No.
It turns out that she had like strong powers and it just like made a big glowing phoenix for no reason. So they go to space to help NASA because Endeavour's spinning out of control.
Yeah.
Because even though they go, the X-Jet wouldn't reach up there. It's like they just take the X-Jet up there anyway.
Oh yeah, there was so much.
Somehow
we won't make it, and then they go and do it.
The thing that really annoys me is Nightcrawler's like, we're going to space, and then straight after Quicksilver goes, so we're doing space missions now.
That's
cool.
It's
It's like you've literally just said that. Like, why do you need to have 2 people saying that you'll go to space?
Yeah.
So Storm, Jean, Nightcrawler, Quicksilver, Cyclops, Mystique, and Hank go up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like the cannon, like the Cyclops cannon, that gun thing. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that
where
was.
he puts his eyes through it and then like shoots the beam and then because it like amplifies it, doesn't it? To slow down the rotation. They all use their powers. Nightcrawler and Quicksilver go in. Quicksilver like gets everyone up really fast, but there's one person in there. But Jean has to go in the ship to hold it together.
Yeah.
And she does, and then gets trapped in there on her own. And then the Phoenix Force hits her. It's a big purple cloud, and then is attracted to her, but it was always searching for her. Sort of, what?
It sounds really weird when you put it like that.
It seems to be that it's basically their second attempt, and it didn't even really. They tried to look what the comics did, and still didn't really fully
go with it.
For me, it doesn't work because we've had this version of Jean and Cyclops. This is their second movie.
Yeah.
So why would we care about them?
Yeah.
Even their romance is like they don't have good chemistry together.
No.
Ty Sheridan and
Sophie
Turner.
Yeah.
Sophie Turner's like she's a good actress, but the stuff she's being given to work with is
like
horrible.
This is like her movie.
It's her movie, but she's not being given anything to do that makes her that shows her off as an actress.
No.
Like when she's like in that alleyway just talking to herself, and you're just like, what? what are you doing? So I don't know. Leave me alone. And she's just like split personality. She killed her dad, and like they try and make Charles the villain.
They kind of made is it me or did like Charles kind of be almost like an alcoholic again sort of thing? Was it?
No, it was
negative.
Negative whatever it was.
He tries to have a drink and then Hank smashes his bottle because he blames him for Raven's death because he got too involved and like shouldn't have done that because he basically does
what
the
does
same.
the X stand for in X-Men anyway?
Yeah, plus you should rename it X-Women because all the women are so it's like okay, all right, time's up.
Yeah, I know, like jeez.
I'm like, again, the thing is like,
yes, it is a derogatory name, but it's so embedded in the culture you can't change it.
Yeah, it's the problem is like the thing is they've got. I think the thing is as well is like, obviously we're not. I'd say we're not against women or anything like that.
No.
I'm all for equality and diverse. I mean, and all that. Like hashtag DarkNuke, creative diversity fun.
There it is.
There you go. No, I was thinking where to do it.
It's part of business nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're not like into diversity and acceptance, then you wouldn't have a job. I don't
No.
think it wouldn't be looked upon.
I
Yeah.
think the mistake that Hollywood makes is trying to just gender flip things, as
Yeah.
opposed to if
Yeah.
you wrote and made characters specifically for women and gave them the platform to have a franchise or a big feature film or television series and make it for them. That would be better than just let's make James Bond a woman. Like,
Yeah.
I
read
couldn't-
that yesterday. Yeah.
I'm like again,
Janet Bond.
so like yeah, again,
the
I'm all
original.
Yeah.
so like again, all for equality and everything, but don't change James Bond to a woman. Like
We don't need
just
Janet Bond.
James Bond is a man. It's what he's always been. It's like
Yeah, you could write a character in that universe and make
Yeah.
her her own and
Yeah.
like that, and then maybe cross her over with James Bond like films down the line and have her continue and change face and change actress.
that would be
Yeah.
okay, but don't just switch like that.
Yeah,
Because-
make
That's what-
effort.
Yeah, make an
Yeah.
effort for it. Yeah, 100%.
But she's Sophie Turner is really badly like underwritten and underutilized.
Yeah.
As is Jessica Chastain. As is
You have such
Storm.
great actors in this movie, and they're
Yeah.
so written not great for 'em.
Like,
No.
the writing is poor and like.
It is poor.
Like you
It's
said,
just-
I wasn't bored, but I did sit there and going.
I was.
when,
Do you know it's only an
when's the
hour and
moment?
45 minutes long?
It's not even long.
Really? It felt a lot longer than
It
it felt
felt
like
a
2.5
It was
hours.
an hour
Yeah.
45. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Wow.
How long was Apocalypse?
Oh, too
That
long.
was. I was gonna say
Too
that was
long.
over 2 hours. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure it's an.
I mean, I think it's over. It's just over 2 hours. I might be wrong.
God, an hour and 45. That felt a long for hour and 45. I
Yeah,
think.
100%.
Just no, I wouldn't say an hour and 45.
Oh no, an hour and 54.
Oh no, but that's still under 2
Still,
hours.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Definitely felt too long. It was like because just nothing happened, and they sideline Quicksilver in this one, so he starts to do like when they go and confront Jean, sort of like X-Men freestyle outside her house. They try and like catch her and stop her. Like Quicksilver starts running up the debris from the house.
Apocalypse is 2.5 hours. Or 2 hours 27.
Really?
Jesus Christ!
Oh my
Apocalypse.
God.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, I wanted to
That
Google
is
it.
Jesus. That is bloody long.
Dark
Oh my
Phoenix
God.
felt longer than that.
He really, yeah. Apocalypse I thought was the quicker one. A little bit.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of Quicksilver, so he starts
Well, yeah.
running up the debris.
He gets a blooming bronze medal
Oh,
for
yeah.
this.
He starts running up the debris, and Phoenix just goes like that, moves, and then like he
And
just
you see his
falls,
face go,
and then he just like he's like it's like the Superman moment in Justice League where Superman turns his head while Flash is running.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
it's like
Fishy.
cool in concept, but then like so just moves it so Quicksilver tumbles and literally injures himself, and he's injured for the rest of the movie.
And I mean,
Like
he
he's
doesn't
on
do
Wow.
he
anything.
comes
doesn't do
back
anything.
on the X-Jet on a stretcher.
Wow.
He doesn't do anything.
Comes back on the X-Jet on a stretcher, and then you don't see him until the epilogue.
Yeah.
Where he goes,
He
"Hey,
has
stop
one line-
running!
yeah, he
Going
has
too
one line,
fast."
That's it. Yeah.
What a waste of a
It's just
character.
like, for as much as Evan Peters has been in the marketing for this film.
He isn't in it.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, cool, we're going to space now.
Space
Stupid
Cool.
scene, and then
And they have their stupid derogatory uniform that's like
Oh,
they're
that
try-
was costume was just bad.
they're trying to make Charles like, oh, he's using the X-Men for his fame, trying to use them because they've got like Avengers level status, but it never felt earned
No.
because he starts going to
No.
like banquet dinners and award
because
things.
I forgot Apocalypse was 3 years ago. And even I was starting to think, when were they friendly with the
Was it
government?
really 3 years ago?
When were they friendly with the Apocalypse 2016? Yeah.
Oh my god.
So even
'Cause,
I was
like-
when were they friendly with the government?
Well, they
Yeah.
sort of were like you get that in the original trilogy. Like you get like bits that when they're like meeting with the president and they've got a president who understands. There's a president who understands us.
what's
You
going-
mean,
yeah.
I think that made more sense, but that for Dark Phoenix, what? Like how
Yeah,
this
it's
happens?
just-
Like,
yeah.
what?
Get sideline. It's boring. There's a lot of talking. There's like a weird party in the forest.
Oh, yeah.
That was like literally like because I went
I
with
thought it was freaking
because I
Katy
went
Perry
with
at one
Connor,
Oh, right.
other Connor, and like he like we were watching that and that bit came up with there's a weird forest festival and he literally just went, I'm done. Like where the fuck am I? What's going on? It's like oh
No, I thought they were playing Katy Perry or something as well.
yeah,
Or
because
something similar.
she's like weird Firefly woman that
Yeah.
person, isn't it? And then it's
Yeah.
like, they all get drunk and then she just keeps going stop, and then gets weird like crackly
like,
skin
"I'm
and then
fine, I'm
uses
fine."
her phoenix powers. Finds her dad that she realised wasn't alive, but then he gave her to Charles saying that he couldn't cope with her, even though she
Yeah.
hates Charles for hiding that from her, even though he did it to protect her so she didn't feel bad.
See, to me, that all felt forced.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
trying to make
I mean,
Charles
I get obviously
the villain for like making changes to her mind, but he had to do it to protect her.
Yeah. No, but I get all right. You get an alien inside your head, and God knows whatever it does to you. Because I mean, none of us can speak from experience,
No.
especially a bird freaking dusty alien. But
Yeah.
I mean, typical that it brings up memories of your dad that you've never been able to remember. Like
Oh, very convenient. It was. All
that's
very
what I mean.
convenient.
Convenient, but it
Too,
felt
too
forced.
coincidental sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it happened to us, then I could agree with it. But I mean, it ain't gonna happen.
Nah.
'Cause we're in the crappy Earth, unfortunately. If we can get to multiverse and go ahead.
But like, why was he putting mental blocks in her if she didn't already have the powers? Because she had the powers in the original trilogy, and that made sense for the mental blocks. So why did he have to do it?
Yeah.
And then they kill Mystique, which makes no difference because Jennifer Lawrence is checked out. She's not caring about the prosthetics or the character anymore. Gets killed off in the weirdest way, but they sort of try and reaffirm like her relationship with Beast, like like we should leave, like we should go, like but we can't leave because they make a point of going, we're the last of the first class. It's like, God, oh my God, no. And then like Beast is like, she was gonna leave and I stopped her, and like it's like, well, it sounds like it's your fault, not. And he keeps blaming Charles because they try and make him a villain. Then you've got a version of Genosha with Magneto.
Yeah, so that,
oh, when he came in, I was like, oh, I feel better. There's Michael Fassbender.
So did I. I was like, oh. And
like he welcomes, like he allows Jean in, but then she like causes because the government come after her.
Yeah.
And she
nearly lift off where he's like,
yeah, she's trying to literally it's a thing of that. He's holding down the helicopter. She's trying to like launch it, but they're both like fighting each other, and he's like, "Get it! I can't hold it much longer." And then they all get in, and he just like throws it up in the air, and then he tells her to leave, and then she meets up with the Jessica Chastain's albino person, and says like, "Oh, we like you can teach you how to use the power, or like if you don't want it, you can transfer it into me." And she gives like that character a bit of it, and then there's a fight where they just try and cross the road. The X-Men, the X-Men, like because that's when you bet. There's always a speech, and nobody cares, and they're just trying to cross the road to get into the house to stop her, and they're literally all just fighting each other.
Wow!
Like you get
like Civil War.
But it's 4-on-4, isn't it? So you've got Cyclops, Storm, Nightcrawler, Professor X versus you got Magneto, Beast, Dreadlocks Man, and Woman who can teleport. But you don't really know.
I thought one of them was Banshee. I read Banshee was in this film.
Banshee's not in this film.
No,
Banshee's been dead a long time in this film.
Or one of them had a debut.
So they fight to get across the road, and then Magneto lifts the train and then walks through the door, and then gets thrown through it. But then because he tries to kill her, and then she's crushing the helmet on his head.
Yeah,
and then I literally was like, so he's gonna die. Then she snaps it off him, and then like flings the like helmet into his chest and throws him through the train. Like, oh, so he's dead then. Like, because he's just like in a pool of blood, like on the floor. Yeah, but then he's alive on the train, like, and then they're all alive in restraints. I was half expecting
the helmet to literally crush into his skull and like.
Yeah, because it starts doing that, and then he starts bleeding from it.
Yeah, literally. I was like, oh my God, are they going to do it?
And then there's the finale on the train where they have the restraints from like Deadpool 2, sort of like that reduces their powers, and then they're all like tired. And like, oh, these mutants are coming to save you. It's like, no, we're your best bet. You better release us. We'll help you. And then they fight, and then it's just boring. And then Jean just uses the dust thing and she takes Jessica Chastain to space and blows her up because if she unleashes it on Earth, she'll kill everyone because she starts disintegrating Cyclops.
She does.
In like a weird ode to Last Stand.
Oh,
and then so she like then flies him up because she realizes I've got to protect my family, because that's what. There's a weird montage of flashbacks of Professor X just going, we'll be a family to her and we'll look after her because you can't. Jesus. There's a cool moment on the train fight where Magneto crushes a whole train car full of the aliens and then throws it.
Yeah, that was cool, yeah.
But then doesn't do it again. When they start, more of them start coming, it's like, just do it again. And he just doesn't do it. And then he goes, oh, I better use my machine guns. Just gets all the guns to fire at her. It's like, that's at least we know where he like learnt to hate guns.
Yep.
Yeah.
But 92, he's Fassbender and he's 62. So what happened to him in the 90s for him to turn into Ian McKellen? Maybe it just caught up with him.
Yeah. Very quickly.
I saw loads of articles about this. They said, well, so this is 1992 and X-Men's in 2000. What the hell happened to his face?
Yeah, literally, he's got 8 years where it's like he goes from that to that. It's like,
how does that work?
What?
Yep.
But
timeline confusion.
Timelines are so confusing. And after so they presume that she's dead, but we all know she wouldn't be because the school gets reopened and renamed the Jean Grey School of Gifted People, Gifted Youngsters or whatever.
Yeah.
Which now Beast is now the head teacher. Professor X has retired and he's in France and then plays chess with Magneto, and then you just see the Phoenix like light up in the sky and then it ends. It's like, oh wow.
There you go.
That's it,
was
folks.
Fucking awful.
Yep.
What a way to wrap up a franchise.
It was literally, and I can't believe it was under 2 hours long.
No.
Wow.
It felt longer.
It's just it's just
It felt nearly as long as Endgame.
it felt like
Endgame was 3 hours.
like the end of a university thing. It's like the project's not going to make a difference to your final grade, so no one's really going to try hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you've got to kind of do it because it's the last thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Until we get X-Men Ghost School, never.
X-Men Ghost School.
New Mutants is the one I wanted to see because it's like a horror slasher thing.
If it's even going to still be released, that's the question.
I don't think that's ever going to be because
Every
now
week
push
there's a
now
new
pushed back to
story
what
on
April 2020.
Yeah.
There's a new story on it every.
It was meant to come out like 2 years ago. It's not coming out.
Yeah, it's definitely not coming
And if
out.
it is, no one will see it.
Nah.
But that was a hell of a journey, lads, through the
Yeah.
Man.
Jesus.
for the X-Men. We're literally going to become. This is going to be the longest podcast.
Ever.
I called it, didn't I? Or what?
Tom breaks records
But hey.
as he makes them.
Unlike Matt.
Yeah, you've
I
literally.
mean, he's holding the record for like not editing our live action sketches. I mean, the amount of time.
I thought you were going to say he's editing. He's like holding the record for like just.
editing a single.
Episode
video.
13 was the last one he was in.
Editing a single.
when
video.
That was the last one Matt was in.
Episode 13.
Oh my god. Matt,
Traitor.
you are doing not good, man.
He
You're-
didn't-
Was
he-
that Horns
just-
of Nine one? Was that? when
Yeah,
he was
we
in watching Horns of
we
Nine?
made him watch Horns of Nine, and he was like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
That was episode 13. Jesus.
Yeah, because we talked about Venom, and then we talked about we just watched Horns of Nine and just that was like an unsocial commentary pilot.
My god.
Yeah, which we'll do.
Wow,
we'll do
Matt,
some
you are
of that.
disappointing to Pasty Keep right now.
But he did edit a few afterwards, but then it was just like I'm just gonna do it because I know it'll come out on time, and then that's where we are now. That's
So you get consistent uploading when you got George doing it.
well, my first thing because like it always sort of would come out on the Monday, and sometimes I think once it came out on the Tuesday, but it was like the whole appeal
And
is
that's
like
when you went to Matt. Oi, I need to edit.
it's like Bible, like have it out on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
I'll do this, like have it
it's in the
edited,
name.
and then like it's ready for like a
It's
couple
for
of
legal
days.
reasons, Matt. It has to be out on a Sunday.
Yeah,
It's in the
copyright,
name.
copyright infringement. But yeah,
in the
X-Men
name.
franchise, 12 films. Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
About 1, 2.
I think you're about half and half are good and shit. Really.
Yeah.
6, 7.
It's very, it's a very mixed franchise. It was.
6 are good. I'm trying to think how many are good.
Yeah.
Do
6 or
you
7?
what as we round this up? What do you want them to do with it in the MCU?
Oh. Eventually, in phase 6 or 7, so in the next 10, 12 years maybe, just when it gets all properly built up and established, do Avengers vs X-Men
Yes.
at some point.
100%. I would do.
Would
down
you
for that.
do like have them introduce, have them fight the X-Men, and then have them sort of then like realize that they're friends, or would you have them exist and then bring them together a lot later on? Because I think if you fought them, because that was meant
Straight
to,
away.
no, like
Yeah.
had them in it like phase 4 and like the end of phase 4, maybe beginning of phase 5 is like X-Men versus Avengers, and then you're just like, oh no, we're on the same side.
Oh, well, so you mean that will be like a mini arc, and
Yeah.
then it will be like, say, Secret Invasion will be like the big threat.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
I
or
think Secret
Galactus or
Invasion.
whatever
I
would
think,
be
yeah,
the
I
big
think
thing.
Secret Invasion into Galactus would be the way to go, and that obviously
I
brings in
see.
Fantastic Four, because then you have
Maybe,
Reed
yeah.
Richards be the new Tony Stark.
If we don't have the new X-Men, or whatever
I don't
version,
want them for a couple of years, though.
Uncanny Ultimate X-Men, whatever version of the X-Men, if we don't have them in the next 5 years, say, maybe 6 years, 7 years at a push,
I'd say give it like 5 years and have them in.
say we don't have any indication of when they are, or if they just suddenly go quiet and we never hear their name again, then don't do it. But then if they have already got an idea of where they what they want to do with them, and
Kevin
they're
Feige-
confident
Kevin
in it,
Feige knows.
Then do it.
Apparently, there was something. Victoria Alonso was saying apparently that they might not use the X-Men name in it.
Yeah,
Apparently,
but
they think it's very outdated
Outdated.
or something.
it is outdated, and I've just got to plug this into charge because we've been going so long. Carry on.
Yeah, outdated. So what? X-people, X-women,
Oh,
They-
I love that line in Deadpool. It's like X-Men, no, X-people.
X-people. Yeah.
Is that derogatory? You're absolutely right.
Oh my god, I love that bit. It's like, isn't that a bit derogatory? You are absolutely right.
X-people.
Yeah.
Or X-Force. Maybe they'll just use the
Maybe
X-Force
I think
name,
maybe
but-
X-Force might be that good way to go with it.
Yeah.
That could be their
and
way.
it widens the roster. Sort of.
Yeah.
Because a force doesn't have to be a man. A force doesn't have to be a woman.
Exactly.
It's just that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That could be their way of doing it. I don't know. It'll be interesting what Marvel want to do. Because maybe Kevin Feige might want X-Men.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird
I
one.
can't remember the idiot who said the name's outdated. Whoever it was, is
That was
is a
Victoria.
jabroni.
That was Victoria Alonso.
Who is she? Then?
She
I
is
can't
the.
remember who
She is.
she.
She is the. I think the head of. I think post production or something with Marvel Studios. So he's one of the main people of Marvel Studios.
She is a key figure.
Yeah,
sorry,
she's a-
sorry, Victoria. I mean, I don't mean to call you jabroni, but Don't say stupid things like that again.
I think they'd have to use the name.
Exactly.
It's such.
It's what it's always been. You can't.
For like 70 years or something like that.
You can't just change. I think you got to stay with X-Men. It's what
it
always.
It is the property.
It's the property. It's what it will be.
You just write the women better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
More original. Just not
Original, you might
not as
say.
politically forced.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Fucking hell, I was on 5%. Jesus.
Got very close to it.
What was it before? Do you know what it was before?
Well, when we started, 70.
Oh my god.
Really?
Oh my god. Wow.
Oh boy.
I want a couple of years to let the dust settle before we even think about
X-Men and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like thread them through, like have like little teasers in the MCU going forward. Bring them in like 4 or 5 years time. Build them up. Don't do like the Dark Phoenix saga for like at least 10 years.
Ever again.
No, if you're gonna because I think it could be done well in the MCU, and it would like a version of it would be done. But we need, and the thing that we will get in the MCU is time with these characters, character development, care about them, and then do it. I don't want to do it while we just like introduce them and then do it.
Yeah,
exactly. No,
I think so. I understand.
Have about 4 or 5 films of them, like build them up, and then do it. Because then, if you care about Jean like 10 years later, and then do it, because then it shows her growth from a student to a woman.
I think more emotional attachment to the characters as well. I think as well that would help better.
That's what Marvel Studios do.
Yeah.
Phase 11.
How short are your phases?
Jesus Christ!
15 years.
We've had 3 phases in 10 years.
I'm gonna say probably phase. It'll probably be up to like phase 6 or something.
In 10 years.
The interesting thing, this one thing is interesting. It is a question, but with the whole MCU, when do you think it will be when the MCU actually completely ends? Do you think it will ever end?
I don't think it'll ever end. I think it will just keep evolving like this. I think this is the end of the MCU as we know it, and then we'll go into a different thing with multiverses and stuff. Yeah. And then I think it will just change again to suit the time.
I think the great thing is now. I think the great thing now for Marvel, because of the
if it does end, they can.
That's it.
They've made all the money.
I think the thing is like with 20th Century, we're now having obviously the X-Men and Fantastic Four. The amount of characters they've got on their plate, like they can do, like Galactus and all that. The stories that they can now tell are endless. It's like you've had what they've done with the Avengers, and it's been brilliant. It's been fantastic, and now you've got so many more opportunities. Not all the worlds are their oysters. All the universes are their oysters. They can pick any
story, any character, and I think they'll want to work through a lot before they even contemplate ending it. Yeah, I think we've got. I think it's more likely we're going to get Fantastic Four before X-Men. I think. They saying that there was. I think there was a report out apparently saying that they're playing 2022 for the reboot. 2022. Who would you actually have cast as the? We love these games.
Who would you have cast as the Fantastic Four?
Well, I said Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson as Thing.
Yes,
because it didn't say. He just said as the lead. He didn't say who.
I think you could. I think you could mocap it, or
I can't see Reed Richards.
I think mocap may be the way for it.
Yeah,
I think
Hulk style.
Yes, 100%.
Then you still like very much embodies the character and the voice.
I still would like John Krasinski and
Was it John
Emily?
Cena?
No, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as
yes,
Mr.
as Mr. Fantastic and
Invisible Woman.
I think
and then you get that dynamic of them playing husband. Yeah, they play because especially in A Quiet Place. Yes, like that dynamic. Yeah.
To me, I think those two would be good for it. I think.
And then you get
who's Human Torch?
Okay, younger lead.
That'd be interesting.
Ty Sheridan?
No. I know.
Maybe you.
Like.
Need like cocky smart ass.
Yes.
Yeah. A young guy though.
Yeah, young guy. Not too young, obviously.
Younger than John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oscar Isaac, because we keep.
I was thinking that.
Oscar Isaac.
I was thinking maybe Oscar Isaac,
maybe.
or you. I can't think of anyone.
I really can't either.
You could because there's not really anyone I can try and think of redeeming.
Nah.
Oh, the electricity just came back on. That's good.
Was there a power cut?
I don't know. Must have been.
Oh. No, there you go. I was wondering why the alarm's going off.
I don't know then. I don't know about Human Torch.
I don't know.
Human Torch. I can't really think of anyone.
I can't say a name.
Nah, I can't think of one either.
Maybe you redeem some of the Inhumans cast and get Ewan Ryan.
Ooh.
And it'd be good. It'd be a change to see him as a goodie.
Yeah.
Because he's still got the cocky bad ass side to him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
Especially in like what he's played in like Misfits,
history.
Ramsey Bolton and stuff like that. Like,
Yes, very true. Actually, that would be a good.
That
show.
would be a sadistic
That
Human
would-
Torch.
Yeah.
Whoever his girlfriend in the comments would be, Thingy, do you love me?
do you love me, Reek?
Do you love
You
me?
love me? Yes, my lord. Stop making me
Flame
do the
on.
Reek impression.
Flame on.
Flame on, yes.
Flame
Flame
on.
on. That's Matt Smith. No.
No, that'd be a weird Human Torch.
That would be a very strange.
Peter
Human Torch,
Capaldi
that
to
would
play
be.
the Human Torch.
Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Flame on, Clara. Clara, flame on. Who the fuck? No, just like a mix of Malcolm Tucker and the Doctor. Fuckity bye. Clara, am I a good Human Torch, Clara? I'm the hybrid. I'm a human mutant, Clara.
Human mutant.
Tom Baker.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, I am the Human Torch. Yes.
Yeah, jelly baby. Flame on.
Flame on. Yes.
Flame on.
Please, someone do a fan art of that. That would be funny.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Him burning a jelly baby.
Send fan art to
Yes.
at nerdbubblecontact@gmail.com and we'll look at it.
Yes.
Or Peter Davison just being really breathy. Oh well. Play on. Or Colin Baker. No, don't mind if I don't join you. Just every version of the Doctor plays a different Human Torch.
Yes.
That's the best of my But flame on. Flame on it.
No,
Flame on
Peter Davison as Mr. Fantastic, Janet Fielding as the Invisible Woman,
Oh my god.
with Matthew Waterhouse as a Human Torch, and then you get Chameleon as the thing.
Comedian is the thing. Oh,
my God.
no.
In a rackety old TARDIS. A rackety old
Baxter building.
Rackety old Baxter. I'll just get it. I'll never get to Heathrow now. Never get to Heathrow. Oh,
my
Tegan
God.
Javanka. That's
Jesus, that's our fan
Oh,
fiction,
wow.
the Fantastic Four.
There you go.
Okay, so question. Tell me what you think about. We've only got one email, and that's from Tom from Geese.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Keys wanted to put a question in.
Okay.
Right, yeah. What's the awkward laugh for?
Keys had to get involvement in this.
Okay.
That's the only problem he's got.
Keys said, do you want Tom? Do you want me to read this in a particular voice?
Oh.
You can pick one.
Because we did Game of Thrones when it was a Game of
Who
Thrones.
did I read? I think I read one in
Baelish.
Davos.
What was the
Baelish.
one you read my one on? What was
I
that
think
in?
it might have been Peter Baelish.
Might have been, yeah. Oh. Obviously, I think it was X-Men themed as well.
Oh,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Read it as Apocalypse.
Go, why not?
As Oscar Isaac Apocalypse.
Yes.
I can't remember how
Okay.
it sounded.
Sort of speaks like, if Wolverine dyed his hair, what colour do you think it'd be? Love keys. And then at that point, then I use the sand to decapitate people and never use it again.
Yeah.
Wolverine dyed his hair. What,
What, Wolverine dyed his hair?
so are we assuming
Jeez.
Wolverine in 2023 when the MCU is now?
I'm just picturing. Hugh
He's
Jackman.
obviously gender fluid, so we need a non-gender specific colour.
Purple.
I'm
I could
picturing Hugh
imagine
Jackman.
Wolverine. Yeah, I could imagine Wolverine sporting a purple do, like dark purple though. Like
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
not
dark
in your
purple.
face, bright purple.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
dark
Yeah.
purple.
Oh yeah, Wolverine wouldn't want to be in your face, would he?
Like psychedelic. Like,
Would he dye his mutton chops as well,
Oh my god.
or would you like
Why not?
have them a different? Maybe have it like have it start off dark purple and just gradually get lighter until it's like hot pink.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. That would be
But what
amazing.
colour gear is he going to wear? Is he going to wear purple gear
Oh no,
too?
no, then he just wears normal clothes.
Yes.
Like really, like he just wears black and
Tank
white
top.
and stuff. Yeah, we're tanked. Tanked up with his tags.
Yes.
Tank top.
He's all like this. Is like, he's just got his hair.
With purple and pink hair.
Yeah. There you go.
Someone who would probably dye their hair though is Bucky.
Buck.
Bucky would,
Bucky.
Bucky would
Oh my
definitely
God.
be like an anarchist.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think so.
Fight the system, you know. I can't believe my best friend gave the shield to some guy he met on a jog.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And he was on his left.
But then, to be
On
fair
your
to
left.
Bucky, he's not really physically there.
Yeah.
No.
But he will help Falcon get there.
Mm.
I look forward to that series.
I
And the,
can't wait for Disney Plus.
and the Loki
Yes.
the Loki series looks good because he's going to be going through different
He's
points.
going to Jaws.
He's gonna
He
go
wants
see
to see Jaws.
Yes.
Completely
Mm.
derailed from Keys' question, but yeah, purple. I feel like that's a very Wolverine colour.
Yes.
Brings out his eyes and his
Yes.
adamantium claws.
Brings the shine to it.
Because that's the only question we have. Tom, is there anything
Orange.
you want to ask us?
Oh, you give me. Oh, you put me on the spot here. Oh. Oh god, I can't think now.
Is it going to be X-Men related as well?
No, you can ask us anything.
Just
Or anything. What is your future sort of end goal for Pasty Sheep?
For there to be a big portal, and then Matt comes back through it. He says, "On your left," and then I give him a shield after I become an old man. I actually do want to make that as a sketch though. It's
Mate,
just have
do
me as
it.
Captain
But
America.
it'd be funnier actually. I guess for some reason kissed your mic. Don't know why. That sounds really bad. But you know what? Make it better actually. Instead of having the Captain America killed, have it like the Pasty Sheep colours.
Yeah. Well, we just give him a live sheep.
There you go. That'll do it. Here's a sheep. There you go.
The end goal, okay, is because like a lot of the stuff you do, like we want to do like sketches and stuff like that, and skits. Like I've got like a load written. We've got sort of. Did you ever watch like 5 Who Fans videos?
I've a few of them, but not a lot.
They did like intros like for each person. Like I wanted to do like a video that sort of like summed up who we are, like as each person. Yeah, so we got Matt's one is I can tell you about it because you probably I don't know.
I think I
like
heard
New Mutants, it will never get released.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking a little bit about it on one of the podcasts. I think because
Yeah.
I think it was on the question I asked about as well. I think about
You just really want to know.
Yes, I
'cause,
wanna know.
So they will have their sort of like own continuity as well. Like I want to sort of like not like heavy, but I want to sort of like interlink.
No, we want to go with Fox first of all, and then when we get big, we want to do MCU.
Oh yeah, definitely.
MCU.
Because like the first one we did was like an introduction like that would end up being for a while at least like the video would like on the channel like basically what we're about. It's us from the future looking back on like why Pasty Sheep failed and what we would have done and changed it. So but it's multiverse, so like it's from a different timeline because at the end kind of goes maybe in another universe it did, and then that's meant to be the Joker's like that's a different version.
Yeah.
And we look back on it office style and like get interviewed and like do that. And then Matt's one is that he awakens from a coma and then refreshes the YouTube page and realises there's loads of podcasts that he's missed. And like he's like, yeah, I've been asleep but I'm back now. That's basically like the gist of his one. Your one that I've written is you daydreaming in the middle of a gaming video where it goes into your head and you're at WrestleMania, but you're in it.
Yeah, no, I'm becoming a wrestler. Yeah.
If you want to be a commentator on it, Tom.
Yeah, commentator.
Why not?
Yeah, because I want to be like side of the ring stuff. It was like me and Tom commentating on it, and then you just like pick Matt up and like just hit like.
Oh mate, I
hit him on,
put him
like,
through a table.
Yeah,
mate, I'll do it.
Yeah, instead of using a chair, you just use him. And just
mate,
like,
that will be brilliant. I would love that. That would be funny.
My one is a parody of a Doctor Who scene that's like got music in it, and I just really want to do it because it'd be so fucking funny, especially if we got prosthetics on it as well. But we want to make sketches. We've got gaming videos we want to do. Obviously, on social commentary we've spoken to you about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably let the audience pick that. Be like, what do you want to watch? And then they can have the option to watch it along with us.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Want to watch it and hear what we think of stuff.
Yeah.
Do so.
But yeah, slow build. It's a hard process. Obviously, gaming stuff and all that as well. But it's getting there.
Would you ever do like short films or anything as well?
Yeah, there's short film idea that I've sort of bounced around that I want to do. I've written like this series thing as well that I want to do, but I don't know whether I'd do that on here or whether I'd pitch it higher.
Higher?
Yeah, because it's sort of like been a thing that I've worked on for about 7 months now.
Wow, a really long time then.
I've literally nearly finished. Like, I've nearly got a good draft of like the first episode. It'd be sort of like a comedy sort of thing that's like being like this age and dealing with like because you always get like in a relationship thing you get like how the girl is, but it's sort of like a flip on that of like the like being the boy and then being like everything's just really shit.
Oh God,
but it's fun. There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot
intimate.
It's a lot of self-parody and self-deprecating. But it's like,
what sort of is there any sort of genres you'd really want to that you haven't you would thought you wouldn't really do but want to delve into?
I really want to do horror.
I'll do anything. Yeah, horror. Yeah.
I've got an idea for a Chucky-ish parody that we would use the Elf on the Shelf. That would end with a funeral scene. Maybe he's possessed by a spirit of someone who no longer works here full time. Maybe you'll have to wait and see. But I want to sort of do it all.
These are all new to me too. I just turn up.
Want to make like big sort of like almost like love letters to why we all love film really, innit? That's why we do it.
Yeah, like that. That's cool.
Oh, I feel like me, especially since I've been doing this, I've grown for film.
Especially. Yeah, you like biopics now.
Well, yeah, I like anything. Ooh. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I like anything.
You went and saw Rocket Man on your own.
Oh yeah, I heard that in the podcast.
Harrowing experience. No,
it was
amazing.
Good.
It was an amazing experience.
Yeah, we're not just like talking about Marvel. We want to
branch
it out.
Do you have any questions for me,
Tom? What is your favourite colour?
I thought that was going to be more my question, but
Red.
Connor, if you were a flavour of crisp, what would you be and why?
prawn cocktail.
Oh, good
That's a good
choice.
answer.
Because I like a bit of kick to it.
Mm.
I'm not just going to be a simple cheese and onion. That's
I'm not a
vintage.
simple cheese and onion. I want
Yeah,
that on
well,
a,
that's-
I want that
that's
on a
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
The thing-
Make
the
it
thing-
blue.
not-
Blue.
I'm a bit of a sour and cream onion guy. I can say
Oh
that.
yeah, Pringles. Pointing out the Pringles. Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to take the opportunity.
No, I'm not just your vintage cheese and onion that gets picked too much.
I'm not your vintage cheese and onion. You come out with some cracking lines, man. You really do.
Prawn cocktail's got a bit of a kick to it.
But yeah, I'd say this is a successful start to a collaboration.
Oh, hell
Yes.
Tom, have you enjoyed yourself?
yeah. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Would you
I-
bring keys next time?
I will cry. I think you will
Pry
have,
him away
I
from
think
his
you will have
life.
more luck with keys than you would with Matt. I'll tell you that.
I mean, you'd have more luck with a lot of people. I'd be better off.
I've not met anyone else like Matt. No,
You'd be
offense.
better off getting Ted Bundy on here than Matt. You know what I mean?
Yes.
there was a worry that you thought you might not thought I'm here, but here I am. See, Matt. At least I can be here in time.
I love it. It just turned into like bitching about Matt. He's not fucking here.
Yeah. Fuck you, Matt. I'm
Glad
Who are
just-
you, Matt?
Glad you enjoyed yourself, and thank you for coming.
No worries.
Yes.
I would gladly come on again.
I would
Yeah.
gladly
Many-
have you on
many
again.
times you want me.
I
I'd love to.
mean, it's been a.
Once a month
Are
regularly.
you going to have the aim of just making the longest episode every time you're on?
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? But especially if you
The
get
next episode will be 4 hours long.
God. And what will we talk about next time? We got to do so. We'll do a overview of
Oh,
Batman. We'll do
Godzilla.
Superman. We'll do a Godzilla overview.
I saw Godzilla
All
King of the
into one
Monsters, and it
video.
is so good.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Oh. I was going to say, could I?
We saw it the same day that you saw Dark
X-Men.
Phoenix.
Oh,
Dark
okay.
Phoenix.
Alright.
Literally at the same time. I don't know if we were in the same cinema.
And we'll-
But oh my god, it's so ridiculous, but so fun. We need to talk about Godzilla. Men in Black, I think, is the main thing next week because Men in Black International is out tomorrow. So go over the other three, see Men in Black, talk about that. We'll get you on again, Tom.
100%. I have to get you guys into my new cast as well.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
love that.
Oh, I'll do so.
Definitely.
Definitely do that
Yes.
at some point.
Connor,
Yes.
where can they find us?
At pacysheep on gmail.com. Pacysheep on all the socials. Nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. That's
For
the
the
right-
emails,
That's
yep.
the one.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Yeah. Come
Yes.
We're
guys.
definitely naming our kid Share.
We're at 75. No, 75.
65.
65
Well, you're-
subscribers. Yeah, no, I was
I
jumping
want.
ahead
I want to
there.
get to 70.
Exactly.
You will get to
65.
70. Don't
Come
worry
on,
about
guys.
it.
We will
Hey,
because,
I
because
helped-
Tom's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I helped you before by clearing it. And
Get your audience.
Don't
Bring them
worry.
over here.
Guys, if anyone's here watching from DarkNuke, subscribe the hell out of them.
Yes.
Because
we
get
need
them
it.
to 70 and maybe even get them to 100 as well.
That'd be very nice.
That would be great.
We should.
That'd be great.
Well, I will.
Start of a lifelong collaboration.
Oh yes, 100%.
And see you next week. Connor, do you want to say anything stupid?
I'm just not your cheese and onion.